There we go.
We're live. And Chico's got margaritas.
Margarita time.
That's what I should have had Monday night instead of what I did have.
So good.
All right, so we can see a chat in there somewhere.
Okay, so if you want to, yeah, this is our chat. If you want the YouTube chat,
oh, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, you can do the pop-out chat for the YouTube thing. You just got to make sure that you mute the volume on the YouTube channel.
Nah, I'm not going there.
Okay,
I'm not YouTube ready.
Well, you're on YouTube now, so and you're live. So deal with it. That was the other weird thing last night. It wasn't live. Like I'm so used to being live, and
yeah,
like they're like, okay, hold on, stop. Like I got to change something. I got to do this. I'm like, what are you doing? Stopping? Like there's no stopping.
So it was that completely insane, and it was live, or it was not live.
It was not. Yeah.
They could have paused at any time and told you to cut out your shit.
He could have. Oh yeah, easily. No, I
so where can I see how many people are watching?
Usually on the lower right-hand corner there will be a views, but I don't think that's always accurate. I don't know why, but
anyway, you'll tell me if somebody's watching, so I can place my hairs and look good. Are you recording now?
We're live, baby.
We are live on the internet.
Live does it mean recording?
Yes.
Well, the internet can see this. We don't have the actual recording for like the show that goes on to like Podbean.
Okay.
Yeah. No, this isn't like you won't be able to listen to it live apart from YouTube yet. We used to like record the audio and send it to Montana, but it's almost to the point where we just strip the audio from YouTube and go with it. I haven't.
You don't edit at all.
Well, Montana edits.
I realize that.
I don't know how much, but I think he adds the commercials and he adds the intro, and I think he edits a bit.
You know what? When I edit the words and the phrase when people talk. I remove all of the stuttering and the hesitation and the repeats and stuff. Maybe I do it too much.
How did you edit my show then? Oh my God, that must have taken you forever.
Yes. Man, that was one of the longest show to edit. But you know what? When I have Frenchmen on the show, those are the worst because they never stop making noises with their mouth. You know, when they don't know what to say, so they never stop talking, even though they don't say anything. Those are the worst to edit. Yeah.
We don't have that problem, I don't think. You might get glass or ice in a glass every once in a while, but
all right,
not too much.
I didn't have time, Coach, but I wanted to send you a beer by the mail, so you could drink that while I was on, but didn't have time to do that.
I would have done that.
I wanted to send you a 9% IPA.
Ooh, I like IPAs. I do.
Oh yeah, I'll send you one anyway, so you could drink it in my honor
next week. I will drink
it will take like half a month to get there. But
I will wear your shirt and I will drink your beer.
I dare you. So I don't see Chico. Is it because he's not talking right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, when you talk, you appear. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of an old man and I don't understand this, so it's all right.
Oh God!
Oh, what is this?
What the hell?
We have a challenger approaching. For a
Welcome
little bit
to
of an
the fifth installment
impromptu.
of the Millenium Condor Lore Master Quiz.
This is a Lore Master Quiz challenge moment.
Welcome, champion. How do you feel today?
Zach, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm here to take you up on your call. I'm challenging Bruno to the Lord Master Quiz.
Oh, Bruno, it's happening now. Are you ready? Are you ready? This is going down. Are you ready for 3 rounds? Only 3 rounds in the shit with Zach Matthews.
Bring it, bitch. Bring it.
All right, then we're jumping straight into it. Bruno, first question. What worlds do the binary pirates operate from? Go.
Number 2. Number 2.
Oh, he doesn't know. Zach, can you steal?
No, pass.
Oh,
Pass. You can't pass.
Mandalore.
it is, of course, the twin planets of Talus and Trailus. Come on, these are easy.
Worlds. I thought you were saying the X-Wing Worlds competition. World.
No.
You mean a planet?
This
Be
is
more
lore.
clear, man.
Lore master.
Okay. First of all, I claim the right to be served in my native language. I want the question in French.
Oh, snap!
Sorry, too bad. Zach, your question. What was the Jumpmaster 5000 originally built for?
Oh, it was a freighter.
Please
No.
answer.
Bruno, for half a point or whatever crazy shit you do.
Interstellar traveling.
Nah, that's what all spaceships are for. It was long-distance reconnaissance and plotting new hyperspace
Oh,
routes.
come on.
1/32nd of a point awarded to Bruno.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
in
ahead
the
of you,
lead.
bitch.
Come on, Zach, get on this.
Champion.
Okay, Bruno, your question. What is the full name of the ship that Ten Num pilots?
Ten Num. Ah, c'est le X-Wing T-65, c'est facile.
I don't know what your crazy language is.
I heard X-Wing.
T-65? Oh, Ten Num
No.
is a T-70. Spaceship. It's a spaceship.
Again, awarded 1/32nd of a point.
Zach, would you like to steal?
Yeah, were you looking for the ASF-1 B-Wing?
That is it. He got it.
Ah,
The
that's what I said in French.
SF-01 B-Wing.
Wait, hold on. It's God, there's so many medals. It's me and Blair's favorite ship.
There you go. Also mine. Okay, so half a point to Zach. Now Zach, your question.
All right.
What is the ability of Sarcoplank?
Oh, when defending, you may roll dice equal to the speed of the maneuver you executed instead of your agility value.
That is correct.
How the hell do you know that?
Derek
Right?
Tokats.
Okay, you two.
Derek,
You gave him the question first. No. I will not
hold on.
participate in this. This
My
is
friend-
a fraud. This is
My
no.
friend
No. You guys talk to each.
I'll show you screenshots. I will show you screenshots of the last 6 months of my conversation with Chico.
We
Your age quit. I'm too good.
Wait, we can't hear you.
First, no.
Now you're back.
Convenient.
Bruno, I
Yeah.
swear on my honor, on all 5 of my medals, that Chico did not
Which I
make
made.
beforehand. But you did make.
No, he has not seen these.
Okay, go.
Okay, Bruno, your question. What are the actions available on the Thai Special Forces?
Focus. Focus. Yeah, focus. Yeah. I go with
So
focus. That means fuck us.
So you're going with just focus.
That's enough.
That's
What do you need? What
no,
more do you
all
need?
of the actions.
Maybe barrel roll. Okay, focus, barrel roll. One straight forward.
That's
That's it.
This is the first edition TISF, right?
No, second edition.
Has the action bar been spoiled on that?
Yes.
Okay, then it's focus, lock, barrel roll, all of which I believe it can link into a white rotate, and it has a white rotate.
Options.
Oh, you were so close. I'll give you some obscure fraction of a point, but there was also evade.
Oh, it's
Focus,
a
evade, lock, and barrel roll all linked into white rotate.
Oh shit! All
I
right.
knew I would get screwed. I knew it. When I accepted the invitation to the OCX OCX, I knew I would get screwed at some point. Continue.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Zach, your final question.
All right.
Host. Go
name
do
the
something,
cast
host.
of
Come on.
the Inland Empire Aces podcast.
What the fuck is that? I'm going with that's not a real podcast.
No, it is a real podcast. They have one episode so far.
Yeah.
By Mitch, Trevor, Steven, and Gabe down in Southern California.
Chico, you gave him the answer. The question was, what's the name host? And then you say host by the. Oh, man.
No, because he didn't get it right. I'm sorry, I didn't give you a chance to steal.
He back to dials you. He back to dials you. But Chico, you're out of questions now, aren't you?
Okay, so I'll do one makeup question for Bruno. It's worth 1 point, and he's behind by more than 1 point.
No.
So we'll make it easy. What's the name of the game that we play?
Star Trek Attack Wing.
Oh!
Again, awarded 1/32 of a point.
The word star was in there.
Okay,
Yeah,
Zach wins.
Nope.
Oh, what are you doing, Kroll?
Okay, so this one first goes to Bruno. This is like the win all question. Can you name the 4 original members of the OCX Radio podcast? Bruno, you can go first.
Okay. Aaron Kroll, Mark Tippett, Kyle Stu, and some other dude I don't know.
Can I use nicknames?
Yes.
Okay, because it was you, Coach, Montana, Chicago, and Sloop.
Oh,
You got it.
he wins
Sorry.
it.
Oh,
He
those
knows
are
all the
yeah,
things.
Yeah, that's right. Good job. Good
And
job,
Coach.
Zach.
Coach, did you see what I'm wearing?
No, because all I see is your forehead, like always. Oh, he's got it. Oh, no. How?
Nice.
Okay, no. How did you find that in that fucking pile of clothes?
It was in a different pile.
He shows me a picture. It's like, this is my clean clothes pile, and it's just a fucking closet.
All right. So,
Welcome
Zach,
to the
thank you
show,
for
Bruno.
joining us.
Yeah. Doctor guys, seriously, talking about the Lore Master, I'm working on a Australian special.
Ooh.
So I have the 3 Australian podcasts fighting together, one another, and the winner of that might Zach Matthews, the X-Wing, the Alpha X-Wing Lore Master 2000 until defeated.
Then it
They're
will
gonna-
be a world champion crown.
Well, first I got to beat Chris Sheriff, which will give me my Canada and England crown.
There you go.
That guy has nothing to do with Canada.
No, you beat Canada right now.
heard him?
Oh, you're right. I did beat Canada, so they'll give me England. And all of yours by proxy.
No. You've beaten Quebec, not Canada.
All right.
Well, isn't Quebec past Canada?
So before we get this show going,
I'm
Bruno,
addicted.
you might need to turn off the video. You're Uncle Marking quite a bit.
Why? Are you serious? Oh, that's a
Your
shame.
robot.
Oh,
your
because I'm the
robot
Wi-Fi
voice.
of the hotel. Wait, I'll go through my phone. It's going to be better.
Oh
I'll lose
yes,
it for a second.
that's fine. I gotta go get a fan. It's fucking hot here.
Okay, Zach. Thanks for joining us. Now go away.
You're welcome. Wait, before I do, I was worried Coach was going to make an on top reference, so
Thanks,
I had
man.
to find 2 shirts. Because I had to go all in
Oh.
with a crazy on top.
Oh my God.
I was ready to go for you. Love you, Bruno.
I love you, Zach.
Oh, Bruno, real quick. If you do Australia, their national champion, my boy Paul Johnson, who's actually from New Zealand, was on. He guest hosted Barons, so he's now eligible in the future too.
Oh.
Yeah, he wasn't just a guest; he was a host.
Yeah, I heard that. That's right. I heard that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
if you want,
Get those damn medals off the screen.
if you want the Australian national champion, Paul Johnson. All right, see you guys.
Bye, Zach.
Salut, man. Bye.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I can't believe you actually did it.
I knew something was up, because they told it the last episode. So You know what? I had the speech prepared in case in the next.
Nope.
Oh, we're losing you. We're losing you.
Chico,
Lord,
can you hear that?
prepare video off. Video off. There.
Chico, can you hear that fan in the background?
No, I can hear my air conditioner though. So
Oh, I can't hear it. So
it's more for the people on the internet.
wow, that was
In like 30 seconds.
I think that was the most interesting thing we've ever done before the intro was read off.
So sorry, Montana. I'll try to splice that as I can, and I'm gonna give Zach some like amazing Challenger approaches music. That'll be awesome. Like
Well,
air
I
raid
hope you
siren.
all were entertained because I was.
Oh,
Bruno.
I spent way too much time trying to come up with those questions.
Bruno, you there?
Bruno.
Imagine that phone. Why? Yes. What's up?
Oh,
Yeah.
hey.
Okay. Now we can hear you. All right. Enough monkeying around. Let's get this thing going. Good morning, X-Wing. Hey, this is not a test. This is OCX Radio. Time to rocket from the Delta Pilot to the 4BZ. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the OCX Radio podcast, broadcasting from the OCX studios in downtown Orange City, Iowa. My name is Aaron the Coach Kroll, and joining me today, once again, everyone's favorite, Chris Chico Brown.
I have nothing prepared, but I have margaritas.
He's got margaritas. I was going to get some Lagunitas.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a Mexican beer. It's really good.
Oh, they have stuff.
I'm assuming it's
like
Mexican.
Dos Equis and Corona.
Yeah, they're importing or exporting all kinds of stuff, aren't we?
I'm just enjoying a good night with my friend Jose.
Oh, that's always a good night. And all the way from French Canada, the one, the only quiz master, Bruno.
Round one. Chris.
I went off the ride.
Yeah,
Radio
I'm sure you had
edit.
post-traumatic syndrome there, hearing that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, G, I got all confused with the time zone and all, and I think I started drinking way too early.
There's no such thing.
That could never happen.
No.
Well, first of all, I want to tell everybody that I am not French. I'm French-Canadian, or even better, I'm Québécois. Have you ever heard a Frenchman speak English?
I have never heard the proper pronunciation of Quebec. Evidently.
Quebec?
I like Québécois. I like that. That rolls off the
Québécois.
tongue really
Yeah, I'm
well.
Québécois.
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 Makes me
Also-
sound intelligent.
When are you guys going to break off and become your own country?
Yeah, we tried twice and it failed, so I don't know. So
It's like they didn't even have to have a war. I mean, they were probably ready. Like, these guys go away. Like, we're gonna roll in with the tanks thing. It didn't even
yeah,
get that
probably
far.
they were ready. But you know what? OCX Radio is the first podcast in the world that considered us important enough to have us, or me, since I'm alone in this thing, as a guest. So be aware that by doing so, our existence has been acknowledged, thus bringing us to the sub-level of weird, foreign, lesser podcast. Thank you, OCX. We will be forever grateful. Thank you.
That's dangerous ground down there. I don't know if you want to mix in with that ground.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, that's awesome.
Yep.
We plug you guys all the time. So
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
for sure it's on every show.
Yeah.
No, like I said, I would listen more, but most of your episodes are in French. And man, I would like to learn French, but I just don't have time.
Don't go there.
But no, we've been trying to get Bruno on the show for a while now, and it finally matched up and worked out, and we're excited. We're gonna pick that Québécois mind of yours and find out the inner workings of what goes on up there in the north.
You might get scared.
Hey, coach.
Yes.
I have an announcement.
Okay.
So you can now listen to OCX Radio through the official FFG X-Wing app on iPhone and Android. Did you know that?
No.
I mean, like it's not working right now because the app is having all sorts of problems, but I'm told they're working on it. But more on that later.
No way. There's no way that they allow an official FFG in the same sentence.
Coach,
wow.
Coach, it's a joke. Did you read the show notes?
No, I didn't read the show notes. You know I don't read them, and now you got me all excited.
You got me fooled too.
You know I don't read these things until it's showtime.
It's right there in the show. God.
Well, I still would have probably believed it. Oh,
I'm told that functionality is on the boat.
Is that
dang
true?
it. How awesome would that have been? FFG official X-Wing podcast app bringing you OCX. Oh,
insane.
Well, we know something's really wrong over there if that happens.
Can we get a link to OCX in YASB too? I mean,
I'm still waiting for a link on that little pinned page where Major Juggler had all those X-Wing like tools and things.
Yeah, all of the important links.
Yeah,
it's so outdated.
It's so outdated. It is so outdated. Oh, it's funny though. Oh boy. Well, as you can tell, we have a very special guest with us on tonight, and I think what I first wanted to do was kind of get an idea, let everyone else know, let the wide world know what the Millenium Condor Baladodiffusion.
You can't say it right, can't you?
Is that right? Kind of?
Yeah, Millenium. Say it. Millenium.
Millenium Condor.
Millennium Falcon.
No. Condor. It's not even Condor. It's Condor.
Is that just the French translation of Falcon?
You know what? Millenium Condor. It's kind of an inside joke amongst Quebecers. It comes from the first French translation of episode 4 in 1977. I guess the French translator from France did not know what a falcon was because they translated it as Condor. Well, actually, the whole translation of that movie is a joke because
that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's the same thing with C-3PO. Yeah, they did not know that you can't really translate letters, so they called him Z6PO. Why? I don't know. Yeah, they translated Wookiee with Shiktaba, which is actually the literal translation of Chewbacca. So they mixed up the name of the guy with this race. So and instead of calling him Chewie, they called him Chico, like Chico Brown, right? Yes. So why? I don't know. Anyway, so that's where the name comes from. Any Quebecer that hear Millenium Condor and has been minimally exposed to Star Wars will understand the reference and start laughing right away. That's for sure.
But I do know what Baladodiffusion or whatever that word. That means podcast.
Podcast. Baladodiffusion. Yes.
Because so does that have like some literal translation
of?
Does it have some direct translation or does it translate directly to podcast?
No.
That's like a big long French word.
Yes, it's okay. There's two parts of that. Balado, which means you're walking around, you're taking a balade, you're a stroll or whatever. Balado. Diffusion, broadcasting. So it means that you're walking around while you're listening to something. So balado diffusion and diffusion because you say balado diffusion because in French when you have a S between two vowels, it's a Z for us. So it's balado diffusion and not balado diffusion.
That's a way better explanation than podcast.
But it's such a shorter word.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But you know what? What's funny though is that I was interviewed by some French X-Wing content provider in France, and they did not get the joke about the Millenium Condor, and they were wondering why we had a French name and why we were using the correct French words for the game component and concept. So I was like, because we speak French in Quebec and we are not brain lazy as you are. Why else? Why aren't you proud of your language and why aren't you speaking French properly, Frenchman? So
yeah.
Anyway, don't get me started on that, guys. Just on that. So there.
We'll get it out sooner or later.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
There's French rage over there.
Yeah.
But,
French Canadian rage.
As many of you may not know, I don't know. Most of their episodes are in French. They are like, I'm pretty sure you guys are the top dogs in probably all French-speaking X-Wing podcasts.
Dude, top dog is an underword because we are the only French podcast.
Even France doesn't have anything.
If you're not first, you're last, baby. So.
Yeah. No. Seriously, in France, they don't have any podcasts. They have like blogs. Like I know of 2 or 3 blogs. They have a lot of Facebook groups, but there's no podcast. There's one YouTube that I know of, but that's it. And it's not. They're not like releasing regular episode. So we're the only one.
Well, that's kind of cool. That'd be dope.
No, it's a shame, man. Seriously.
Well,
I wish there were more.
You know as well as we do that this is not easy. So
easy.
And you put way more work into your episodes than we do.
I'm on the edge of a divorce there, so it's all right.
Your production value of your shows are just wild, crazy good. It's so good. I love it every time that radio edit girl comes on. I know half the time it's making fun of me, but that's all right.
Yeah, but that's. Sorry, go ahead. I
don't even know how you do that. How you get like the voice modulation to do that, or if it's just a text to speech kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I should give you my tricks, but
no, I'm gonna look for it now.
Yeah, but you know what?
Montana, get on that.
For 10 minutes of raw content, for me, it's about an hour of editing. So if we have like an hour and a half, 2 hour content, raw content, well, that like 120 minutes time 10 minutes times an hour. So it's 12 hours just to clean the tracks, align them, make sure I remove every stuttering, dead air, and stuff like that. And then I put in the music. So it's add an hour or 2 for the music and the fine tunings. And I'm crazy as fuck, I like it to be perfect. I could go over it and over it and over it again, and it would never be to my taste. So now I've learned better tricks to have a better editing method. But thanks to Dion from Gold Squadron, because when I started, I asked him, do you have any tricks for me? Because this is hard. Editing is hard, So Dion told me a few tricks, and he helped me with which software to use, and so on and so on. So thanks Dion for that. Really, he was really generous with his method and his time for me.
We like to say thanks, Gold Squadron.
Yeah, thanks, Gold Squadron. Really, I really appreciated it because it helped me grow, right, and do a better product. Yes, and that's a way for us to be different.
Well, you got one of the sharpest shows out there. I will give you hands down that.
I wish I could understand more of them.
Yeah. But for us here in the English world, 95% of the world, we have been enjoying the hell out of your Quizmaster, Lore Master.
The Lore Master quiz. Yeah, but that's what, I started to do some English shows, but they were not picking up, right? I did an interview with Gold Squadron. I did an interview with you, Coach. Yeah, you were on my show. I did one with Zach. I did one with C2 Sky from Vancouver. And they were not really picking up because there's a ton of shows like that. Who are we? We're just the next one, right? We're not special. We don't say anything different than anybody else. So my way for me to find my niche, if you want, was to do that, right? I'm not knowledgeable enough or good enough in the game to say, oh, well, when I speak, I tell the truth, and you need to do like me to be good. No, I'm not good. I play for fun and I do pew pew noise when I play. So that's not it.
Well, so does Paul Heaver. So.
Oh, why? Really?
And
Maybe I'm better than I think then.
He was like all over the place. He rolls his dice, goes pew pew pew.
Yeah, I go brah, brah. Every time I roll my. But you know what? That was a way for me to be different in the English world, because in the English world, let's face it, right? We are only a foreign with an accent podcast, right? I'm sure it's painful for many people to hear me talk. I'm sure of it, because when I hear other English podcasts that are not native English podcasts, sometimes I find it hard to stay focused or listening to the end. So I'm telling myself, well, people that listen to me go, what the hell is this guy talking about? I don't understand what he's saying. He's not using the right words. He's not using the right tense, and so on and so on. Why should I listen to this guy while there's a ton of other English podcasts that say it better and have better ideas than he does, right? So doing that, I do not expose myself to saying stupid stuff, because the goal of the thing is to do and say stupid stuff. So it's all right? And I make other people look bad, not me. So it's all right. So that was my way then to be different and find my place or identity in the English podcast world.
I just thought it was a great way to dive into the English space, because nobody was doing it. Nobody was doing a quiz show, and you somehow happened to fall upon the one guy that could carry a show in Zach Matthews and win every single time.
Oh my gosh!
I
tried.
Yeah, between a different format and Zach Matthews and somebody new. I mean, to tell you the truth, I think a lot of people out there looking for new podcasts are just looking for something different.
Yeah.
It's just, I need something different. And that was it. It was great. I loved it. I know a lot of other people loved it. It was a home run. So
but you know what? I did it in French first.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, because in my French episode, when I had guests, at the end, I was always doing a quiz with them against my French co-host. And for fun, right? So, and then I think doing only that, and I reached out to Zach, and he asked me, why did you reach out to me? Because when I listen to the crates, and I don't listen to them often, but when I listen to, he's the one that I relate to. I like what he says. I find him funny, and I don't know. I related to the guy, so I reached out to him. I was good fortune that he would be the champion and could keep being the champion all the time.
Yeah, you didn't want me being the champion. That'd have been a bad idea.
Oh man, the quiz would be like 5 hours long if you were the champion.
It'd take him like a decade to edit everyone.
But you know what? One of the Australian podcasts told me, I'm always looking forward to the Lore Master quiz, and I hope Zach never lose.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. But you know what? People have been, I don't know the right word for that, telling me that I did too much English stuff. My content was
on your own side.
Yeah, but now I'm alone in the podcast, so I try to do.
What happened to Peter?
Oh, Peter is there. Peter doesn't play X-Wing anymore, so he's there just as my intern.
Let's give Peter a shout out, because that guy is great. I love.
You know what? Peter is the one that taught me the game, the one that brought me to the level I am now, and he's a great guy. Seriously, Peter is I love him. I wish I could see him more often, but life is the way it is, and stuff happened for him. And
banter back and forth is hilarious.
It's so yeah, we have fun. But my friend's co-host, I fired him. Can I say that?
You can do that? I didn't know you could do that.
No, I phased him out.
I'm gone now.
I phased him out. All right. I think he understood that his place was maybe not so much appreciated, so he kind of phased out by himself.
He was strategically relocated.
Yeah. You know what? And when I first started the podcast, I was looking for somebody as motivated as me, because I'm a crazy dude, and I could not find anybody. Everybody who told me, I don't know, I'm not sure, maybe, maybe not. And this guy, I asked him, he said yes, but I didn't really know him. He's a Frenchman, and so right there's a cultural difference, and we did not agree on many things. We didn't have the same way to see stuff. Our quality level was not the same or at the same place because he wanted stuff that I didn't think were important, and the other way around. We didn't work at the same pace. And
was
all
there
kind
a
of stuff.
difference in accents?
Yes, a lot. Oh yeah,
I'm sure we would just never notice. But I mean,
yeah, we would never.
He did not agree with me doing English episode either, because he can't speak English, or he can, but he was too shy or afraid, or I don't know.
Sure.
I speak bad English, but I don't care. I go just throw it out and whatever.
You're doing significantly better than most of the people that I deal with on a daily basis, like in the IT field.
Yeah,
you're speaking better English than I did Monday night. Let's just say.
that is crazy true. Oh my god.
Yeah. So and that guy is a nice guy, but he was I don't know what the word. He was easily angry at everything. All right, everything was against him all the time. So he would go raging against his dice, raging against this. He would throw a fit at a kid while he was playing, and
holy cow!
Wow, and I didn't want that associated with the podcast. You know, in French it's
I don't want that associated with X-Wing in general.
I don't want that in the game.
So, and I had to tell him, right. I called him after that, and man, you can't do that. It's just a kid. And then he tried to justify himself by saying the dice and this and that. And I had really to tell him, stop, shut up. You cannot tell that to a kid. You're an adult. He sees you as authority. He's kind of not intimidated or afraid, but you're an adult. He's a kid. He looks at you as a model of some kind. And when you rage against your dice, or you accuse him of playing the clock, which is not true, man, you are acting stupid in front of a kid. Everybody in the room is embarrassed about you. When you go and you kick your bag and you throw your dice at the end of the room, that I don't want that associated with my podcast. And no, that can't go, right?
Yeah, because that will come through. That will come through on the podcast.
Yeah, and you know, we'll go in big tournaments and people will see him act like a stupid. Yeah, that's bad. They'll say, "Oh, the guys from Millenium Condor are ragers," and they're no, that's not true. And in French, the podcast is really positive, and I talk about stuff I like and not about stuff I dislike. You know, because in life, right? I play the game of X-Wing to have fun and be a kid and be happy deep down in my heart, right? I don't have time or the energy to be angry at the game, to write negative posts about it, or to go on rant about what I dislike in the game. It's a game, nothing more. It means shit in real life, right? It's what it is, and they'll fix it in time and whatever. So I have enough reason in real life to be angry about important stuff, so I won't start being angry at the game I use as a pressure safety valve, right? I use X-Wing not to blow and go in a McDonald's with my shotgun and shoot people. So I can't be angry with X-Wing. The day X-Wing makes me more angry than happy, I'm going back to Dungeon and Dragon. It's simple as that. I'm going back to role playing and other games, right? So, so I don't want that with my podcast. And right now I'm kind of alone in the podcast, but it's all right. I'm giving a voice to the French community, X-Wing community. So one episode I'll do it with a guy from France who has a blog and is known in his community, and the other day I'll do it with a guy from Quebec City, then from another guy from Trois-Rivières, and then a guy from Montreal. And so every little French community has a voice. And for me, it's a big one community. And you know, we did the tournament, the Alpha Condor Challenge. So I was talking with the champion, the guy that won, who is the Alpha Condor, and he told me, I modified your trophy and stuff. I said, it's not my trophy, it's the community's trophy now. I don't care about it that much. So the whole French community That's what I'm working around it, so to be positive and making sure. I don't know where I'm going with that. Give me a beer.
Go get another beer, baby. Go get another beer. No,
I'm sure you get my meaning, right?
It sounds like you're really spearheading the community up in Quebec, and that's great because I wouldn't want it in anyone else's hands. But I think what we're going to move on to is, first of all, have you gotten your 2.0 stuff?
Oh yeah, I got them from Dutch, who sent it from the Gen Con.
Oh, our own Dutch.
Oh yeah, thank you.
That fucking sweetheart, man.
Yeah. So I got it like a few weeks ahead of everybody, but it took me that time to sort all of the what was in the expansion pack. Man, there was some cards in there, right?
Holy cow! That was
man.
The stack of extra cards, because I have a card box, and I put 3 copies of every card into the card box, and the stack that was left over was like this tall. It's like crazy. That's so many cards extra. But like I like how they made it. So there were a whole lot of common cards that that you didn't have to. Oh man, I'm not going to have this unless I buy that conversion kit.
Yeah.
So I get that, and I understand. I bought one of every conversion kits. There's people out there who bought more than one of all of them, and they're gonna have an even bigger stack. But like, so like I like that they did that. I'm super happy with it. Like the amount of stuff that they gave me with just one conversion kit of each and a core set, I think was extremely good. I think the only thing that's bothered me so far is like I know people have been upset about shield tokens. I'm just using my acrylics and I flip them over, whatever. I don't need those pieces of shit. Cardboard. So the only thing that bothered me is I took all of my dial upgrade inserts and I took them and I stuck them in a bag, like somewhere on like the other side of the room. And then I punched out all the ones that were in there, and then the first list I built had a G1A, and I'm like, awesome. Where's the little insert? Where's the fucking insert? And I'm sitting there and I'm sorting them out. I was like, where is it? Where is it? There's not one in there. There's not. It's not. I had to walk across the room to go get my little insert, and that was infuriating. But like it was just weird. Like I don't understand the concept of why they picked certain ones. I'm sure there's some sort of reason, but I couldn't quite figure it out. But I mean, I had them, so it's not a big deal. I just don't know if somebody who doesn't have them for whatever reason, like, I don't know, because like all the new ones were double-sided. Like, oh, there's a TIE fighter on one side, it's the TIE fighter on the other side. It's like, why did you do something different? But oh well. It only bothered me for like 5 minutes as I walked across the room, but now I have to carry that bag around just in case something else is missing. I got ahead of myself and I ordered like from every store I knew. I ordered like a core set and an expansion pack of every faction.
Oh my god!
So now I have too much. But what I'll do is I'll open the core set, not the core set, but the conversion kit. Make packs with ships, the dials, the cards, and some upgrades, and I'll send that to the Patreons free of charge, and they'll get random conversion kit ships. Damn. If they don't have it, too bad. They can trade it with somebody else, but it's yours now. So yeah,
that's cool.
That's what I'll do.
Wow, that's. Don't tell our Patreons.
You know what? My wife says I'm way too generous with the Patreons, and I kind of agree.
Well, we just sent the boat, so everything is out and it's gone. And I think that might have been my downfall for the Minot cast, because all that weight was just relieved.
Oh my gosh. Your shout out section was like a huge I'm sorry / shout out to our Patreons. And and I'm just sitting there the whole time. I'm like, Coach, Coach, this is not the time or the place for this.
Shut the fuck up, Coach.
What are you just shut the fuck up and get to the shit. Just shut up.
We should have done shout out to the beginning.
Why don't you shut up, Coach?
Oh, it was a mess. It was a mess.
I'm like, this is Minoc. You're talking to the wrong group.
It was.
Coach, were you drunk at that time?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes.
Yep.
Pounder?
You can tell it was about midway. I was good until the midway. And then,
what happened then? What happened?
Well, that second
Whiskey?
drink. That second drink kind of you make a little harder, because you're like, oh, the first one wasn't that bad, and then you're like, well, that one was really good, and then by then you don't care. So the third one is probably all brown water. So who knows? I don't know. It was a glorified. I don't have my. See, I've trained my co-hosts to like rein me in. They are specially trained co-hosts that know how to handle me. Those two had no clue. Like Chico said at the end of his episode last week, he says, Lord have mercy on your soul because you don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
I warned them.
I know.
And then he decided, you know what? I'm not going to make show notes. I'm not going to plan. I'm not going to get ready. And instead, I'm going to make a song.
Halfway through, I'm like, do we have show notes for this? Because this could be bad.
But you know what, Coach? At first in the episode with the Minox, it sounded like you were waiting, you were trying to find your space or waiting for the good play, and then it started, man, boom, brah, brah, brah.
I was being polite. I caught him like on the beach in Normandy, baby. I took it to him hard.
Oh, too soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some of the critics aren't wrong. They're not wrong.
I was finding myself agreeing with them somewhat because my whole thing is that like I don't even know why. I mean, maybe I was drunk when I listened to it, but like I was going into it going, oh, here's my daily dose of Minoc. I'm ready for Minoc. And it wasn't Minoc. It was OCX featuring Minoc.
You took control, like you took control of my show when we were on.
That's, and I'm probably never going to get invited on to another show, except for Thule Squadron. Thule Squadron are like, you can come on our show anytime. I'm like, God damn it. I just take it over.
You were on Wraith Squadron, I think, once, and you talked about the Rebel show. You remember that? You remember that?
Hornet.
Maybe not... Hornets? Oh yeah, Hornets. That's right. Dude, you sounded like you had no clue why you were there.
Sometimes these things just happen, and I don't even know about it until the next day. They're like, "Oh, you were terrible on that show." I was like, "I was on a show last night." Shit.
No, but it was good though because it was you. Like I said earlier, I listened to all of the podcasts, most of them for a few minutes, but. The one you guys are on, Chico, Coach, or Mark,
Mark.
all the way, and they're the most entertaining. Really. Yeah.
If there's one thing we do well, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
The other stuff that's relevant.
But you know what? It's funny because at the beginning of the show, Coach, you said we tried to have Bruno for some time now, and then finally we have him. Where is the rest of your cast? There's only you and Chico. The other one, they say, "Oh, it's only Bruno from from Canada. Who cares? I'm not participating in that show." Kyle is not there. Mark is not there. Pops is not there.
We're going through kind of like how do I best put it? It's the end of summer / football season, so I'm gonna go with it's the end of summer. Like Kyle's swamped. Like it gets to be May, and then he's not ready to go until October because he's just got 3 kids and he's all over the place. Mark is old. No, that's
need
not
to say no more. It's all right.
Mark's got some personal stuff going on, but they'll all be back. Don't worry, they'll all be back.
Yeah, I'm just pulling your leg there. I'm just having fun.
But like you said, we've never hurt for Ho. I mean, we said it from day one. We were always going to have other people on. We're going to give people voices. We're going to have random people on. We're going to have hosts on.
Oh yeah, my favorite thing is when I'm sitting there on like Wednesday morning and everybody's like, "Oh man, I'm not going to make it." And I go, "Oh fuck, what am I going to do?" It's like, "Oh, this isn't even a problem. This is freaking town hall day." Just bring on everybody else and we just sit here and shoot the shit with
you know, I haven't done that yet because I'm afraid that I won't be able to answer the questions. They'll say, what does that do with that card or in that situation? And I don't fucking know, and I don't care, man.
I don't know either, but that's why
I don't know. Translate it to English, send it to Chico. He'll try and figure it out.
My job is
morning with you, Chico.
We got a couple of minutes before we go into a commercial break, and what I wanted to do was actually follow my show notes. I want to know, first of all, what just pick out one squad that maybe you've flown this week that you kind of liked. Unless you haven't flown anything yet.
You talking to me, Coach?
Yeah.
Are you talking to me, Coach?
Guests always go first, Bruno.
All right. I played a lot in the last few days, way more than what my wife gave me permission for. All right.
Nice.
I played in a lunch party like last Thursday. Then I played in the tournament Saturday night, and then Monday night I was in Moncton playing with the guys in Moncton, and then last night I was in London playing with the guys in London.
Holy crap!
But I'm traveling for my job.
London, Canada.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a lesser London. Don't get me wrong. It's just another London. Right.
I won't judge. Oh, speaking of London, I know it's gonna probably make him mad that London brought him up, but kind of missed my Nick Bond. He got that new job, but he's not here anymore. Oh well.
003.5.
Shout out.
We miss you.
003.5. We miss you, buddy. Now that the Weekend Warriors won Worlds and he's like too good for us now.
Oh,
whatever.
Either that or he got a job. I don't know what.
I think he got a job. So. But go ahead, Bruno. What was your favorite list that you flew this week?
The list I flown was it was 2 Cutlass Squadron pilot in the Punisher with Trajectory Simulator. I'm sorry if there's a delay there because my show notes are in French. All right, so I need to translate it in my head. But
read them in French. See if we can translate the list.
So I had one pilote de l'escadron Cutlass dans le Punisher with simulateur de trajectoire and roquette de barrage et une bombe à proton.
So Cutlass, trajectory simulator, damn it,
barrage rockets,
and
some sort of bomb, probably seismic proton.
Bombe à proton.
Yeah, proton.
Boom for 50 points, right? So I had
French
2 of them.
Easy.
Yeah. It's such a nice 50-point ship. Oh,
yeah. And with that, I had Capitaine Jonas dans le bombardier, taille bombardier, with salve de saturation and roquette de barrage.
Barrage rockets, saturation salvo, and the
Captain Jonas. Yes, Captain Jonas.
Nice.
So Captain Jonas can help the other guys re-roll 2 dice, right? When they are launching missiles and torpedoes and stuff like that. And the fourth ship was le Major Reimer dans le taille bombardier with tireur hors pair, torpille à proton and roquette à proton.
Whoa.
A proton rocket, proton torpedo, Reimer, and there was some talent I couldn't figure out.
Yeah, it's marksmanship.
Okay.
Yeah, tireur hors pair is marksmanship. So this guy can change the range of his ordnance. Yeah. So he can throw
him with advanced proton torpedoes and just wrecking somebody at range 2.
Exactly. So he can throw his torpedo at range 1, 2, 3, and same thing with the proton rocket, right? The rocket, same thing, 1, 2, 3. So he's going kind of alone on his side, and while Jonas is staying with the Cutlass, helping them throwing their barrage rocket. So
you got 2 Cutlasses, right?
2 Cutlass and 2 bombers. Yes.
Gotcha. Oh, it's a list after my own heart. I love it.
It's good. I never play Empire, and I never play with Ordnance. So for me, this is new. And I was in night in London. I thought it was going to be like a casual, easy-going tournament for people who hadn't played 2.0 yet, because it was a launch tournament. And I was not prepared for the level of competition that I faced there, man.
Oh,
These
man,
guys
all bunch
were
of tryhards.
Oh, they were talking jousting value, action efficiency, and stuff. I was not ready for that. I was just going.
You got a bunch of major jugglers zealots.
Wow.
Yeah, they were talking to me and was going, with a dumb smile, with like looking like a retard. I had no clue what they were saying to me, but
I
yes.
totally agree. Carry the 2 and multiply by 5.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Everybody to the podcast.
But everybody was friendly, but I felt a bit out of my place being the only Quebecer there, and I was not at all in a competition assassin mode, really. But reality really caught with me quickly. So it was only the second time I was playing the list. My first opponent was kind of nervous. I tried to make joke and help him, being a nice guy that I am, and so on. But anyway, I don't remember the score for that, but I won by about 50 points. The second opponent, I already faced him at the Canadian National 2 years ago. I remembered him because he's kind of the player that ponders the in and outs of every decision and will check his dials like 4 times before he is ready to go.
Yeah.
The tank,
Yeah, but I remember we played like 6 rounds, and I'm not kidding. We played 6 rounds in 75 minutes. All right. At the Canadian National, it drove me crazy to a point where I was about to flip the table. Really, I was about to throw it away on people. But last night I didn't care much, other than the fact that I was there to play, move my ship, make a few pew pew sounds, and and that game was too serious to my taste. All right, so but I lost by only 10 points. I don't care because I beat him in the Canadian National, so I'm good.
That's not a good margin.
Yeah. Oh, 10 points. It's on 200. It's very
that's
good.
pretty good.
Yeah. If I was a bit better, I would say that if he had picked up the pace a bit, we would have played like a reasonable number of turns, and I would have won. But I won't go there. I was not really in a competitive mood, I was there to have fun.
I'm not going to go there, but I probably would have won.
Yeah, exactly. But my last game, that was really fun. It was more relaxed, and even though my opponent wanted to win, it was relaxed. We had fun. We talked. But it was a crazy game. I lost by 1 point. 1 goddamn point. All right. 1 point, man. Boom. But at time, 1 point. I didn't know what to say about that. I was like, are you shitting me right now? Count again. He counted again. Count a 3rd time, motherfucker. Tell me the score again.
Let me see your QR code right now.
You went on Florida on him.
Oh, man. So, but it was a fun game though. So it might have gone, either way. But give him 2 more turns. My ship were all almost dead, so he would have won, like big time on me with 2 more turns. So I'm happy with my 1 point loss. But you know what? I can't wait for my next business trip there in a month or so to get my revenge. So fear the Quebecer, London. I'm coming back for you.
Coming back. I like it.
That's about it. Yeah.
Oh, Chico. What's your favorite list?
I got my first 2.0 game in.
Yay!
So excited. Yeah. So I just pulled a list. Like I started putting together a list, and from what I was told, it was like exactly the list that was on one of the articles. So I don't know if it was something that like I read it in an article and it stuck there, and then I started building it and it just became the article. So I probably just subconsciously stole it from the article. But anyways, so it was Guri Advanced Sensors, because I've heard great things about Guri because I listen to Andrew Knuckles way too much. And then IG88A, with fire control systems, and Forlom with IG88D and fire control systems. So for those of you sitting there just confused of why I had fire control systems on both of them, you're as confused as I was at the end of the game, as I didn't use it a single time. The only fire control systems I actually used was on Guri, who didn't have fire control systems, so I just straight cheated. And I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and re-roll this, and then like next turn I go to use advanced sensors, and I'm like, oh fuck, I don't have fire control system. So like Guri was awesome. Fire control systems is shit. And Forlom's pretty cool. The medium bases didn't mess with me nearly as much as I thought they would. Fen Rao is a prick, because the list I was going against was Fen Rao, 3 tugboats, and Sirisu. And the tugboats weren't obnoxious. Like, I dealt with the tractor beams. I just understood that it was a possibility and just dealt with it. But fuck, Sirisu and Fen Rao just would not just die. Fuck them. Holy shit. But it was fun. Like, it felt like X-Wing. There wasn't anything like that happened that I was like, oh my gosh, this is different. So I didn't really feel that. But you know, I had a good time. There were fucking quad jumpers and medium bases, and you know, an IG88 without another IG88, and it was just a good time. And like, even though I lost and I was a little bit salty inside because of it, but like, it was a good time. So you know, like, I am excited to get more stuff to the table. I'm trying to drag Luke out every moment I can, and like, just I'm having fun. Like, awesome.
Did you face a Luke with supernatural reflexes? And
no, I've only played one game.
Oh, okay.
just Fen Rao, and he's a dick. So next list, I started with Fen Rao. I was like, how can I be a dick?
Because in my tournament, the second opponent there, Brian, who was really thinking about his moves, he had Luke with supernatural reflexes and supernatural and a proton torpedo, and he erased a TIE bomber on the first round of combat. He rolled, so he had 1 hit, 3 crits, and I rolled of course I rolled blanks, and I had hit, and then double direct hit, and fuel leak. Boom, it was gone. First round of combat, Major Reimer was fume.
Yes. Stuff goes boom real fast.
And first round of combat, man, it's so frustrating. It's what? Yeah. So it's really strong. Luke is good, man. It's really good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry, I'm stealing your light there, but
no, you're fine.
I actually finally got to play the list that I originally created. I have a guy in town that keeps playing. He's watching tonight. Go, Eli. But he's been playing the Brobots. And, man, they are good. The Brobots are good. But I got to play. I wanted to try IG88C.
So, what did he have on his Brobots? Because I am super not convinced.
Yeah.
Without HLC, without auto thrusters, without fire control systems.
No.
What do you got?
He had advanced sensors, shield, or he had a hull upgrade, advanced sensors. He had a bunch of stuff. He had a huge bid, though. I mean, he could have put whatever he wanted on there. But he flies them to the point with that passing of the calculate. He flies them so well that one is only in the engagement. The other one is out shooting at you. Oh, he's got elusiveness on it. Which is a great upgrade. Man, have I underestimated that upgrade. But he's able to pass like almost 4 calculate tokens to one ship that's not getting shot at. So, here it is. Advanced sensors, shield upgrade, IG-2000, and elusive. That's it. And he's got the one that you can change the sloop into the hard turns.
Oh, okay.
And the other one is the... I think it's the double tap one. Anyway, but it's amazing how he flies them. He can keep one out and one in, and then all of a sudden the one that got shot up is out and the other one's in. He's figured it out where he can just poop and or just get one out, get one in, and it's beautiful to watch. But I played. You
were the one that built that list,
huh?
You built that
list?
No,
he did. Eli did.
Okay.
And then, he's got the one that lets you pass the calculate tokens.
Right. Yeah.
And the other one is the one that lets you change the sloop.
Mm-hmm.
And with elusive, you're flipping that charge token over, and it's great. It's fantastic. They're very hard to kill. But I went with the IG-88C, the one that boosts, you get the evade, and Boba Fett. Because I wanted to play Boba Fett so bad. I wanted to play 2 medium base ships and see how it would go.
A fire spray that's actually good? What?
Yeah. And Boba Fett. That reroll for range 1, and it's not like anything. You can reroll anything. Attack dice and defense dice. Doesn't need to be a focus, or it doesn't need to be a blank. It's just straight up reroll.
I got surprised by that because I had like 3 ships around Boba Fett and I was about to kill him. And then reroll. It was what? Like, and he was at range 1 of me. So when he attacked, all my ship went in smokes.
He's gonna go to work.
Oh yeah.
But I tried to do the whole juke boost kind of combo thing. So when either one of them boosted, they got the evade token. Therefore, my juke kicks in. It works very when you can change something to a focus token. Juke is not as good as it used to be, but it's still really good. It's still really good.
Why is it not as good?
It's just it depends on what order you're shooting in.
Okay.
It seems like I was always picking the wrong way. Like I was getting beat either on because I had loaded it up. I could have taken some stuff off and had the bid, which is what I should have done. Because it was a 5 and a 4.
Okay.
And it always seemed like there was another 5, or I always had to shoot first, and therefore I'm kind of losing my mods stuff. But it was fun. I had a blast. The medium base, the ability with the slave 1 to turn when I fuck up, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go this way now. And then all of a sudden, the rear fire arcs at range 1, where they thought they were going for a block, it's a lot of fun. You're like, and I get a reroll because I'm range 1, and I get 4 attack dice, and you're gonna get smoked. So, But I'm playing around with the list a little bit. I don't know if the boost juke thing is the way to go. I didn't use it as much as I thought I would. I am thinking the pass the calculate tokens is the way to go, because when you can put 3 calculate tokens on Boba Fett, then he's a monster. Yeah. He's a monster. So I loved the native boost on the fire spray. The actions were great. The rerolls were fantastic. Boba Fett's a monster. He's good. He's good. The medium bases they fly.
It's weird, eh?
Yeah,
I like them because it puts it in a sweet spot where they're fast because they're bigger than a small base, but they're not so restricted as the large bases are. You're still nimble through the rocks. Yes. You don't have to worry about your maneuvers just flying you off of the board when you get out of the rocks.
Yep.
There's so much more.
Oh, it's fun. Seriously, it's fun.
Yeah, I really like it. I've latched onto the medium base.
Flying Boba Fett felt like that's what Boba Fett, how he should fly. I can come and get you, and I can also one hard turn this baby and be wherever I want.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Would you say Boba Fett is a monster?
Drink. Fuck you, AJ.
Is that an inside joke that I missed?
Oh no, the chat's been blowing up. I'm sorry, Bruno. The beauty of doing our shows live is we have a very active chat going on, and so we kind of gaze over and we see what they're talking about, and they influence the show just as much as anyone else.
So I should go on YouTube to try to see that, right?
Yeah, we're kind of up on commercial break, and we'll walk you through on how to get that popped up here, but. I guess the last thing I want to talk about before we go to commercial break was what was everyone's impressions on their first couple of 2.0 games? Is it fresh? Is it new? Is it what we thought? Is it lacklusting a little bit? So we'll start with you, Bruno. What was your first couple of 2.0 games? Everything you thought it was going to be?
Oh. Wow, I got feedback, man. Is it because I opened Facebook, YouTube?
Oh, did you open YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah, if you open YouTube, maybe it's like because it's on a 30-second delay, but you'll hear the YouTube coming in.
Yeah, you want to
mute the YouTube.
Okay, you want to mute the YouTube video. See,
you're just coming.
This is where Montana has to edit.
I'm sorry, Montana. I'm very sorry about that. Okay, I don't know what to do, man. It's okay. I got it. Okay.
Just close out. We'll go to commercial break where everything's free game.
I fucked everything.
God damn it! He's fucking up everything, Chico. Chico, was 2.0 your first experience? Everything that you thought it would be?
It felt the same to me. Now part of that is really good because it feels like X-Wing. So like people who enjoyed X-Wing, they're enjoying the new X-Wing. Now I say that it felt the same, but then I looked at my list, I looked at my opponent's list, and we had ships with talent slots that were empty. Mm-hmm. There was nobody staring at, okay, which one of these 3 talents am I going to take? PTL, VI, or whatever. Which mod am I going to take? Auto thrusters or stealth devices. It wasn't these cards that feel stapled onto other things. I mean, we were looking at Fen Rao, and Fen Rao could have been naked and just done that, like what he did, just all by himself. That's the part that I looked at and I was like, this is where second edition was necessary. Like there were no turrets running around. There's no TLT. Like all that's gone, and it felt great just to fly fun stuff.
Bruno, how did your first?
Yeah. I first tried the quick build, and I liked it. I played 2 Fang Fighter against 2 X-Wing T-65, Luke and Jack against Fenro and Alterock, and then we switch squad. Yeah, I liked it. I liked the combination, and I liked the fact that I had 2 charge on my missiles or torpedo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at first, it felt like I didn't know how to play anymore. For real, I lost my 7 first games because I don't know why. I felt like I didn't know how to play anymore. I tried different squad. I tried different combination. I would switch squad with my opponent to make sure that is it the squad that is bad or is it me? And it turned out it was me every time. But I liked it. Seriously, it was refreshing. It was new. It was the game I loved, but even more. For the first time in a long time, after a night playing X-Wing, I was eager for the next Tuesday to go play X-Wing. I couldn't wait for the next time I would play because I wanted to play my squad again. I wanted to try new things. I had fun, real, genuine fun, without being angry at automatic damage or thing I could not evade or throwing dice for nothing because he would hit anyway or my dice would be perfect because of my modification and so on. But man, dice variants. Dice variants, man.
Get used to it, baby.
Yup.
This is hard. This is new. All right. So if, like they say on all of the other podcasts, learn to fly.
Yep.
Shit, man. I need to learn to fly, all right? But this is fun. It's fun. It's, you feel like it matters what you do, where you go, where you point your arc. If you try to avoid an arc, if you try to put somebody in your arc, it's all new. It's all, I don't know, it's rewarding as it was not before.
Yeah.
And the fact that the ship are almost naked, it's also fun, right? There's less combo, and I don't know. I liked it, but one thing that bugged me a lot, and that I didn't like, the upgrade cards are fucking too big, man. They are too big. It takes too much place. I had 4 ships, and there was like cards all over the place, and then there's too many tokens as well. Force token, charge token on the torpedo, charge token on the bomb, charge token on the missile, charge token on the afterburners.
Right.
Shields, barrage missile. They have 5 charge, man. That means, and you don't remove. Yeah, you don't remove them. You flip them, so they're still there. As soon as you bend over the table to move your ship that are far away, you move your cards. It's all screwed up. There's crap all over the place. And imagine when you go to a big tournament where you struggle for space, right? You have like 6 inch in front of your board to put your stuff. You need to put your templates, your card, your dice. No, that doesn't work. It's a mess. I don't know why they went that way. I don't know that. Yeah. I don't understand it. Small cars were the best, in my opinion, since there are less upgrades now. So there's less upgrades, and they take more plays than you used to. I don't get it. Yeah. Anyway, that's the one beef I have with 2.0. Like I said, minor beef, right? It's nothing. It's nothing. The game is great. The mechanic is great. I have fun. I'm good.
Well, there was a guy in Mexico that I'd encourage people to try to find the YouTube video that he did, where he created a little card holder that basically had the main one, and then the upgrades could kind of go in the side, so you had like a page that you could just set down. I think that's a really good idea. I'm also looking at I have like pieces of sheet metal that I use for games, and then I've got a whole bunch of magnets that I use, and I'm looking into like the force and charge tokens, maybe like gluing a little magnet inside of them, like one of those tiny rare earth magnets, and so I can put it down there and it just kink, like sticks to it, and then it's easier to flip over and it like holds it together. We'll see how. Like I'm going down to Crossroad Classics, and they usually do pretty good on room, but you're not like, it's not an excessive amount of space. So we'll see how much room we have there, and that'll give me a good indicator of if I need to come up with some sort of solution, because you get to those tournaments where you've got like 4 inches on either side of the board, and if one person has like a big template tray, then they're taking up a bunch of it, which I suppose I'm one of those people. But like, man,
no, I have a tray too.
Well, I tell you what, the X-Men community is a go-getter freaking community. I guarantee you, sooner or later, somebody will come up with something. Somebody come up with something.
Oh, and the other thing that I don't like is the target lock system, or the lock system. With the number and the lock, I can't. It's my problem, right? I never remember who has a lock, so I always use my 1.0 locks. I use the Ghost Squadron locks, right? They had that for Patreon at some point, so I use that. They're great. I don't use the number that they provided in the core set and so on. If they're too small. Everybody has the same, so it's white or black, I think, or white or red. I don't know. So
yeah, the numbers are black and white, and the lock is red.
Yeah,
somebody will come up with something. It'll be.
I just use my Gold Squadron target locks. They're numbered 1, 2, 3, and I just use those. And
that's what I use also, and they're great. And people see that at the end. What's that? Gold Squadron target locks, man. You should be a Patreon of them, boy. Anyway. Oh, dead air.
No, I think I lost a couple guys, but that's right. We are going to throw this over in a commercial break because I got to take a piss and get another beer. So, Montana, I'm going to leave this one up to you, buddy. You can pick whatever commercial you want.
Make sure it's in French.
Make sure it's in French.
Hey, I'll send you my French commercial for.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
There.
I'll send you the email address. You can send that, or you probably know. So
what's happening now?
Okay, so now we're in commercial break, so we can do whatever we want to, say whatever we want to.
All right.
I'm gonna go take a piss because I've had 3 beers and that needs to happen. So I will leave you. Basically, this is us and the chat and whoever's.
Oh, and okay, I'll go piss also. Get another beer, and you'll show me how to get the YouTube thing.
Will do.
The chat. All right, good.
Good luck, Chico.
Okay, I'll sit here and attempt to be entertaining. I was gonna go get him another margarita, but this one like hit me super hard because like when you're mixing a margarita, and margaritas taste so fucking good that the tequila goes glug 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 glug, and then you get drunk. So like I would really like another slushy right now, but I don't know how much more tequila I can do. That would be bad. I thought about bringing my blender in here, like the rest of it. I imagine that would be like some excellent, some excellent air for you. Just listening to my blender. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's Chico Sing. I was actually thinking about because the Minoc thing, and if I had time tonight, which I super didn't, and I stopped caring about like 2:00 today. I was gonna put together a song of Let It Go, but a whole song of just let him go, as in letting Coach just get shit faced. I thought that would have been cool. But don't tell him I said that.
Are you talking to yourself?
I am talking to myself. No, the chat had some random questions and whatnot. They wanted me to sing a song. That super didn't happen.
Don't do that. Don't do that, boy. Don't do that.
Oh yeah, you hate the songs. You hate all the songs.
Yes. You know what? Minoc is one of the most influential podcasts, right? And when Ryan Farmer goes and sings something, all of the copycats, they do the same shit. If 1 week Ryan go and do the Soon Tearful, you can be sure that in the next month you'll hear it in like 5 or 6 other podcasts. So please, Ryan, shut the fuck up. Be aware that people copy you, right? And it's not enjoyable to other people, right? It's okay when you do it. When other people do it, it's not okay.
I've told the crates the same thing, because like they've had those shows where they say is like, oh, we're just a bunch of guys talking to each other. We don't matter. Nobody should listen to us.
Yes.
It's like, but there's a fact that people do, and then like your attitude resonates through the community of your listeners.
Yes.
So when like when they get on their show and they say things like, oh, you're flying wedge, you're bad. And they just stop there, like it resonates through the community and becomes a problem. Whereas like their last episode, Travis was on, and they actually started getting back to like Travis doing his kind of listener series kind of thing. And I was really impressed because I forget what Chris Allen said, but he said, if you do this, you're bad. And Travis picked that up, and he said, well, you're not wrong, but here's why that thinking is not good. and here's what you should do. And he just went on and on and on about that. And I was like, that is what crates have been missing for like months. Is that like, because they just come on and say, oh, you're bad, you're dumb, just don't do that, do what we say. Like, but give us some context of why you think that. And that was super missing, but I'm glad they got back to that.
Yeah, and just from the top of my head, I can think of like 3 lesser podcasts that are copycats of the crates. So these guys have a responsibility, even though they don't want it. They are influential, so people listen to them, and some lesser people just repeat that without the context and without the knowledge and without the know-how, and it's bad. It's not. I don't know. Okay, my English is limited, so I can't not really say what I think there, but there's some kind of responsibility behind that. If people are listening to you and they repeat what you say, you should be mindful of what you say, or at least explain why you say that or why you think that, right? Anyway, that's my point of view. It's it's worthless. It doesn't mean anything, so it's my point of view, nothing more. Because people might say, "Oh, you're wrong." All right, I'm wrong. Whatever.
That sounded like when I had Chris Allen on, and I kind of gave him a old dad talking.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah, so imagine that conversation we just had, but Coach being just shit faced and giving it directly to Chris Allen, who was just sitting there and just taking it.
He took it
as good as he could.
He took it like a pro.
Really?
Well,
give me an example
of what I said, but
all right, be a father to me. Tell me shit. All right, tell me I'm wrong and coach me in life. Be my coach of life. Come on. Raise me to be a great human being. Come on, coach. You can do it.
Oh, man. No, I can't. No, a great human being. That's not my coaching advice there.
All right.
No,
Okay.
Wrong kind of coach.
Better me in some way, right? Make me better.
Oh, dude, I don't know. I'm in awe of your podcast. I really don't. I don't.
Come on, your nickname is Coach.
Yeah,
coach me, man. Coach me.
The way I got that nickname was.
You know, in my work, I get audited by auditors, right? Or I am in a team of auditors, and there's a lead auditor, right? And when the lead auditor comes to me and say, "What do you want to do?" I go, "You're the lead auditor. Lead, motherfucker. You tell me what to do. All right? You're the lead auditor. Lead. So, coach me."
Okay. So you're going to keep going with the lore master stuff, right?
Which as long as I can until it gets old and people don't listen to it.
I think it's fantastic. Half of me loves like the wonky point system you have. Like, I'll give you like 0.75 points for that. It's like as during my episode alone.
Yeah.
First of all, I was not keeping track of points at all. Because I was getting like half a point, and then I was like over here, I'm like, well, I'll give you like sort of a point. And then over here, I was like, yeah, he said 2 words. Fuck it, just give him a half a point. Like,
I was trying to, but then we got to the round where you could lose points for incorrect answers, and I was like, fuck, I'm back to 0. Okay. That counting didn't matter.
I think you already know how you're going to make it better, but I would go back and maybe listen to obviously the Zach and Chico one. I would go back and listen to oh, by the way, having Asa and Adam on, that was fantastic.
And just not even acknowledging.
No,
I know.
Really,
it was so good. Oh, it was so good.
It was Peter and an intern. It's Sonny Bounder, man. Sonny Bounder was there.
It was so great.
The greatest pilot in the galaxy.
Yes.
Oh, damn it, man! I got nothing. That's it.
All right, Coach. You told me go back and listen to the Chico and Zach episode.
So once
I've done that, what do I do with that?
just go with okay, what questions were way out there, and what questions were here, and what questions were like.
Yes. Okay, I understand you.
You've got your everyone should know these questions. Then go up a level and like I know you're going into like lore and legacy and stuff like books and stuff like that. I'd probably stray away from that a little bit.
But no, like all of his lore comes directly from card text.
Yes.
You didn't know, like, on all the generics. Yeah, it's on all the generics that he's pulling those from. Like the questions I did was like what was the Jump Master originally built for? That's right from the Contracted Scout. Those kinds of things. So I think those are a little fascinating. The only thing that kind of got me was when we got down to like, okay, here's a round. I get a question, Zach gets a question, but then like his question would be, what town is this podcast from? Okay, you could kind of like almost guess and get that. And then the next question would be, name the whole cast. And it's like, what the shit? Like the difficulty range on that is like plausible to fucking impossible.
But you know what? I try to have the same thing.
I love what you're doing there is that you're trying to plug these people and get them, like your listeners and the listeners that are coming in following the people who are on the show, just like showing them that, oh, there's a group that's out in London. Awesome. Go listen to them. Try it. So I think that's awesome. But as somebody trying to answer the questions, I was like, fuck.
It's too hard. Okay. Yeah. But I you know what I try to do? Everybody has the same question or so. So if you had like, from which town is that podcast from? Later in the round, the opponent will get the same question from another podcast. And then name the cast. You get that. And later on, the other opponent will have the same question, but for the other podcast, right? And let's say, what's the point cost of that? You get that. Later on, the opponent will get the same question for another ship. So every time I decide for a question, I produce the same question for another thing, but later on. So I always decide for my question 2 at a time. The same question or about the same question, but I mix them in the show. So at the end of the show, everybody has the same question or the same difficulty of question throughout the show, but not at the same time.
Oh, I got my coaching advice. I got it.
Yes.
I got it. Here you go. Okay.
I don't need any of your advice. I'll be right back.
When you want someone to put a commercial together, you have to give them examples, especially when it's me, because I don't know.
Okay, so you've never listened to the show, right?
I've listened to the show, but I was like, the commercials. I don't know. I don't know how to make a fucking commercial for OCX Radio.
Yeah, but you have some for your show. How come you can't produce one for mine?
I know, but
you could have just send me one of yours and we'd be okay.
That's what Kyle's here for. That's what he does. You're talking to the wrong guy. I read things off of a piece of a paper and I say things every once in a while that are crazy.
You know what? That was really funny. It was a good joke.
That's my only job on this entire show. I read things off of a piece of paper and I say funny shit every once in a while.
I like my joke said, this is where you would find a commercial from OCX.
I thought it was hilarious. I figured, hell, that is our commercial right there. I laughed so hard at that.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know your metrics on how you're rating in the French episodes. But I can tell you, like you just told us, every time you listen to another podcast and an OCX member is on it, it's always better just because it adds entertainment value, or we mix it up, or we just totally derail the whole fucking thing. And
Mark was on Race Squadron, I think, and it was good. You were on other podcasts, and I listened to those, and wow! And usually I don't listen to them because after 10 minutes I drop out because it's boring and improvisation and whatever. No,
there's,
you guys
there's really only two reasons that people don't listen to our podcast throughout the whole way. One is they're just listening and they're just like, this is not for us. We are not for everyone.
It's possible. It's all right. Yeah.
It takes a certain little craziness to get our podcast. And we're not for everyone. And two, you never know when you're going to miss the good stuff on this podcast.
That's right. That's right.
It could be the very last thing. I mean, we keep it entertaining. We try to keep it entertaining all the way to the end.
Do you try, or you're just yourself?
No, I think it just naturally happens. As you can see, Chico just made a whole nother blender worth of margaritas. So
you relax over there.
That kind of helps, and just go.
You know, because with my show, I don't try. I just do. Right. That's what I am. That's what I produce. That's how I am. You don't like it? Go listen to something else. Right. And you like it? Great. But that's the way I am. That's the way I do stuff. That's it. That's all.
Look, I'll just say this. Ryan indeed took a huge leap of faith having me on the show. Because they've been on our show. I know they have. They know how our show goes. They didn't have the wrangling powers. They just didn't have it.
I know that I wasn't ready for you when you came on my show. That's for sure.
I was already on a roll, and when I get on a roll, man, just things get bad.
But I have a question for Chico. You were on Nova Squadron, right? Which is now Lack of Focus.
Dead.
Okay.
They're under a new name?
Yeah, Lack of Focus.
Yeah. So what's the story with that?
The guys who were in charge of it worked with some guys out of the Nova region who hosted the whole thing.
Okay, Nova region. I don't know where that is.
So
Northern Virginia.
Actual Nova Squadron. It's Northern Virginia. Yeah.
Okay.
So they ran the website A Few Maneuvers, which started off super strong, but then kind of disappeared. And like all of our stuff was hosted there, and we were getting to the point that a lot of the cast members were kind of losing interest in X-Wing in general. They were basically just doing the podcast because they needed to do the podcast because it's what they always did.
When was that?
It was
a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like 2 Christmases ago, maybe. And we got to a point where we were really struggling to like schedule because they wouldn't record unless they were sure they could get like 3 or 4 people. So we ran into these situations where we got like 2 weeks that we just wouldn't do anything, and then that 2 weeks becomes 3 and 4 weeks, and we're like, when are we going to do this? We have to do something. And we got to the point that we were talking about just irrelevant bullshit
just to be on air.
Yeah. And it was like bad. And when like we would record, and then it wouldn't be like until 3 weeks later that it was released. And just
why 3 weeks later?
Just because people were just getting disinterested and just didn't.
So
have
who was the cast at that point?
So it was me, Chris Sheriff. We had Paul on every once in a while. Ed was the main guy.
Sort of.
Ed and Chad were the 2 main guys.
Yeah.
And Major Juggler was on.
John Dorsey.
Yeah. So we it started fizzling away, especially as Ed and Chad started just like Ed was going through
into the thing. Yeah.
He moved like twice, and that really like took up a lot of his time. So we got to the point that it was just like, you know, are we ever going to record again? We were all just wondering.
Okay.
So we like Chris kind of took over and was like, hey, you know, I'll do some of this, because we lost the Nova Squadron Radio name essentially, because
really?
The Nova group that we hosted with they owned the name, and we got shut down because evidently the licensing that we had through the website didn't allow us to host a podcast. So they like shut down the website on us. And because we never pulled the trigger on a Patreon, we had no money to go and do it ourselves, which at the height of Nova Squadron, we could have just been rolling.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So the fact that they never did always kind of blew my mind. They could have hosted it themselves. There was talk about trying to buy Nova Squadron Radio, the name, back from the people who controlled it, and it just fizzled away. And we were like, okay, we're done. And Chris tried to build it back to something that kind of fizzled away again. And that was about the time that I was jumping on OCX, and now they. Yeah.
Jumping on OCX.
I think Coach pulled you in OCX.
No. He asked to be on this show. He asked.
No, I went and re-listened to the episode, and you got me to just the right amount of drunk that when you, in your massively drunken stupor, said, "You know what? I want you on this show," I just went, "Okay, sure." Like.
Worst decision he's ever made.
But was there a feud or people angry at each other in that?
I think we were all just kind of disappointed that there were a lot of us that just wanted to make it happen, and we just couldn't find the right things to pull the trigger, because even like Richard Sue was talking about trying to figure out what he had to do to buy the name, and he would just own Nova Squadron. Like, he was looking into that. And
but was the name so important?
Yeah
Okay.
I mean, like right now, how many people know what Lack of Focus is? But if you say Nova Squadron Radio, everyone knows what Nova Squadron Radio is still, and we haven't recorded in 2 years. So
you consider yourself still part of Nova Squadron? Because you said we haven't recorded in 2 years.
Right.
No, Nova Squadron Radio was like the Beatles, man. They were the biggest thing. They were there. They were the stalwarts.
Were they the first?
Yeah. Well,
they weren't the first.
Almost. Okay.
One of the, Scum and Villainy, I guess, was actually the first one.
Okay.
Before Ricky chews my ass out, but they were the ones that were up the echelons. They were up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But,
so how come
that
you
was
didn't
enough
go with?
Nope.
It's a shame that's in the commercial, right? So this whole conversation will never be on the show.
Oh,
but
it will live in YouTube
forever on the internet.
Yeah, it will always be on YouTube. That's why when you watch the YouTube, you get a lot more.
Yes.
Or when you're live, that's why we have so many viewers that are live.
But for me, it's so late. I need to work the next day.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We're almost done.
So let's jump back into it. And
I'm good.
Try to push them along so we can be done around midnight. But
push me along. Yeah, I always get us done.
Midnight for you. It's an hour later for me.
No. Me and you are on the same time.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I always try to get Chico to bed on time.
Okay, but I'm having a good time now, so you can stretch it. Sorry.
I've never heard somebody not have a good time on this show.
And so what we have left on the show notes is just bitching about the website, which and the app, which maybe we can trim down a little bit, because I don't know if you noticed, but they came out with a new rules reference.
I would like to go over that.
Right.
Yes. So, and I have a bad list submission if you want.
Okay. Do we really need to bitch about the app?
I mean, we can just touch on it. I don't want to linger on the errors and bugs, because that shit gets fixed. We deal with it. Like it was a shit show release, but those will get fixed.
It was super bad.
I want to touch on, if every bug is fixed today, my opinion on it.
I'll just open on it was bad. Could have been done better. But
like I think getting
let's just go right into the FAQ. Fuck it.
No, do the app.
All right. All right.
Give it a second and just discuss your feelings on it, of of like general, if all the bugs were fixed today, you know, like what is the general feel of it?
Jerry
like,
does not want to hear about
outside of the italics bullshit.
Oh, Jerry. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hey, thanks, commercial. Parlez-vous français to you too, baby.
Merci beaucoup, Aaron.
Merci beaucoup. Oui, oui. Yeah.
¿Cómo estás?
Yeah. It's a shame that Mark is not there to sing me the Alouette song there that he sang
he wanted
way
to do
back.
that so bad too.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have him record it.
Okay.
We'll get it up here on the show. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the OCX Radio podcast. So we have a couple of items, little house cleaning things that we want to take care of. We're gonna just basically kind of just throw out a couple of liners about the app and its rollout and how they've fixed it. So, Bruno, usually we're gonna go with the guest first, but I want to get Chico's take on this first. So, Chico.
All right. So first of all, the rollout was abysmal. I think we can all accept that. You know, it came out on the day they said it was going to, but holy cow, was it poorly received, because there was just bug ridden like crazy. I mean, I think we all saw the italics.
Did we see that? Really?
Can we all appreciate that it gave every single squadron name a new heading for their face?
Oh my gosh, just hilarious. But like as a software engineer, like I looked at it and I was like, holy cow, like if I release something like this, like personally in my day job, I'd be fired like as soon as I got done fixing it. Like they would force me to fix it and then they would fire me. Just because
is it that bad? Seriously?
The massive amount of bugs were crazy. And the thing is the in your face, like right there, bugs that like any amount of testing should have.
Okay, give me an example of a bug that would get you fired.
The italics.
Just basic functionality of like the sharing system didn't work like on the first moment. Stuff like visual, you know, problems, not a huge deal. The one credit I want to give them is that there was no downtime. Like usually when you roll out some sort of website, you know, people hammer it so hard, shit just shuts down, and that didn't happen. But the fact that there were just so many, like a massive amount of bugs, that I personally feel like these weren't like corner case things. Is like, oh man, we didn't think of that. Of course that's broken. These were things that is like any minutia of X-Wing knowledge should have figured this out. Like all of the titles that add slots just didn't work. And that's something that, you know, if you looked at any squadron build, like I've thought about building a squadron builder myself. One of the first things I thought about was like, shit, how do I deal with, you know, slots changing, like based on cards? That was one of the first things I thought about. It's like, and the fact that they didn't and put that on like a priority of what they need to fix just is huge, and just shows that there was a disconnect between the developers and X-Wing knowledge, and there was nothing to bridge that, it seems like. So the one thing that I wanted to get into is the app functionality if you ignore all of the bugs. And I think it is not even close to up to par with everything else that we've had for 2+ years that they've been able to look at. So if one of the things that I use apps like Yasby, I use that so much because me and Luke will build a list. We'll shoot the link over to each other. I'll check it out. I'll look at the upgrades and go, I think you need to tweak this, or this looks okay. You're going to have a problem with this. It's list sharing. And the list sharing on that app sucks so bad, especially if you're on a phone. If I all of a sudden get a link from somebody and I click on it, it takes me to the web page that instantly says, hey, you want to get the app? It's like, fucker, I have the app. It's like, but would you like to download the app or would you like to log in? It's like, fine, just log in because I don't have any confidence in your app button. And then it tries to log me in, but it gets confused trying to log in. It's like all this bullshit is like, just show me the fucking list. And then it finally, after all of this cumbersome just work, I get the list and I can see it. And I'm like, all right, that upgrade. Fuck, what does that do? I can't look at it. I can't look at the upgrade card text until I go like into edit mode. So I have to get this list from somebody, go into edit mode, click on the card and get the text for it finally. And then I could read it. And then I have to go out of that window, go into the next card, look at that one and be like, oh, how do those work together? So I got to open up another fucking tab so I can look at both the cards at the same time and go, okay, so that kind of works like that. With that is like, okay, I can see where he's going with this, but how does this work with the ship? It's like, I'll open up another fucking tab so I can look at the ship along with the 2 upgrades. It's like, motherfucker. It's like, come on. It's like, this is so incredibly cumbersome trying to do that.
So let me ask you a question. When they came out with the pricing points for the ships, right, at Gen Con,
yeah,
would that not have been a better time to just roll out the app?
Not in this state.
No, hey, Chico,
that would have been a month before the actual 2.0 release.
Chico, you're the software engineer. What went wrong there? How come at the release date it's so fucked up?
So in my opinion, here's what happened. If you look at the credits for the app, the number one thing they have at the top is a Scrum Master, which if you're not familiar with that, it comes from Agile development, where essentially what you do, you take everything you want to be in the app and you put it on a Post-it note. Then you slap those Post-it notes on a wall and you prioritize them. It's like, these are the important things. We're going to do those first, then we're going to add in all this other bullshit. So every developer walk up, grab a Post-it note, go and code it. And you know, that's kind of how you do like Agile development. That's a really basic version.
Yes, I know of that.
Yeah. So then you get done with your thing and you come back to your meeting and go, hey, I'm done with this. Excellent. Let's test the living shit out of that. And then you can move on to another Post-it. In my opinion, they had too many fucking Post-its on the wall. And when they came back, they were like, holy shit, we need to get more Post-its done. So we don't have time to test this. Go do another thing.
Why did they just not reverse engineer one of the app builder out there that is good? Like, I don't know, Squad Builder from UK and the WhatsApp or whatever. There's so many.
I have no idea. Like they have great examples and they just didn't.
Do you think they could have done that and then all of a sudden one of those creators goes, hey, wait a minute, something looks awfully familiar here, and sue the hell out of them?
No, they straight couldn't, because all of those app builders are using IP of things that they can't sue. Can you imagine somebody using Star Wars IP trying to sue Disney because you're using my stuff that I'm using of your stuff?
I gotcha.
Never gonna happen. so they straight could have taken Yasby and recreated it. But
I'm gonna go with its FFG policy just to never use anything third party.
So I personally think if they would have taken custom formats, we don't need that day one. Like, that's cool. I like, that's gonna be fun, but day one, don't need it. The card database, day one, don't need it. And then take what you have left and do it really well. I would rather have an incomplete but working well product than a fully complete but everything's a little bit broken product. So they should have done less better, and that's my opinion.
All right, Bruno, you got 2 minutes.
Why just 2? He went on for like 10 minutes. Why?
I know, but he knows more than we do.
Okay, I don't really
trying to get you boys on bed on time.
Yeah, but I don't really care about the app, right? Like I said earlier, I play X-Wing to have fun, be a kid, make pew pew sound. The app is not working. Big deal. You know what? I'll use another one. I'll use that until it's fixed. I'll play X-Wing and I have fun. I don't have energy and time to spend on being angry at an app, something that is irrelevant in my life, right? So that's it. That's all I have today. I agree with Chris.
You know how fortunate we are to have third-party people making those apps for us.
Yes.
We can just
otherwise I have the PDF file, right?
We can just continue on with our 2.0 life and not be affected. If we didn't have that, this was our only gateway.
Yes, but okay, I think it's a shame that a big company like FFG can't release the app on time, working well, like any other big company that respects itself, right? Other than that, what's the impact on my life? It's minimal, right?
Right.
I will still go to work tomorrow. I will still go to my meeting. Yes. I will still have a fight with my wife. I will still, everything is there. I don't care. What's the importance of that, right?
I just thoroughly enjoyed app release day. It was great. Seriously,
people need to spend on negative stuff.
The internet was on fire for so long.
Seriously, man, if you are really angry and you have time to rant like for 2 pages of stuff about an app that will be fixed in 2 weeks, fuck, get a life, man. Seriously, go outside, look at the birds, and be happy. I don't know. I don't have time for that.
But I don't think it'll be fixed. I think 6 months from now, it will still not have the functionality that I need to
Chico, you don't need
be my
shit,
primary
man.
app.
It's a game. You don't need anything, right? It doesn't matter.
Well, it's not fun. It won't take over the other apps.
Technically, since they did not print the point car on the cards,
no, stop.
We do need an app.
Stop. It's a game, right?
Yes.
It's a game. You're there to have fun.
I understand.
Other than that, you don't need anything. And seriously, agree at an app and you feel like really angriness inside of you because of that.
Oh yeah, those people
go
are
in therapy. Go see a shrink or something because it is not important, right?
It should not drive you to that level.
Switch game, seriously.
It should not drive you to that level of crazy.
No. But I agree that it's not fun because it's not doing what I want. But I find that the X-Wing community or the internet in general, they want everything now. Right now.
Oh yeah.
And they want it perfect for them, not for everyone, for them. Perfect for me now, free. And fuck you,
As I've always said, the rate of internet angry is probably 2 to 3% of the total community. So I'm not worried about the 2 to 3%.
So I don't really care about
it's just that's all we see, and then we psychologically think everyone's angry. No, not everyone's angry.
You're right. You're
mildly upset.
They're the one who has visibility, and they're the loudest. So we think everybody's like that, but no. But for my part,
it's not.
The app is there. It's not perfect. It's working for me.
It'll make its way. It'll get there
in time. Maybe not. Like Chico say, maybe in 6 months it won't be fixed perfectly. I don't care. I'll play the game either way. I'll win my tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other stuff.
You know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
People just need to step back from the ledge a little bit.
Yeah, just relax.
Like those 2 to 3% of people. That's about it. But
yeah.
Hey, I want to get on to the new stuff.
Wait, Coach. What do you think of the app?
Nope. We're not going to get into that because that'll take too long, and you guys won't get to bed.
No, I'm good. Hey, I'm in a hotel room, and I have all the time in the world.
Okay, so basically, my 2 cents on the app was they've been working on this game for a very long time, the 2.0 version of it. I was very disappointed that it wasn't released earlier that way because it seems like everything FFG does, we have to work out the kinks. We are, as a community, the playtesters. It was a release on the day of, which, okay, yes, fine. It was bad. Yes, okay, fine. We all had third-party stuff anyway. It would have been nice to have the FFG official stuff. It would have been nice. It's not a necessity. It would have been nice. Mm-hmm. Is it how FFG's been operating ever since this game has been in inception? Yes. It's always catch up. And I think I've finally come to the realization that that's the way FFG is always going to be. It's always going to be playing catch up. Yes. It's never going to be ahead of where it needs to be. They're never going to release a product where it should be with proper playtesting, with proper this. It's always going to be, we're going to release it, you're going to buy it, then we're going to find out what's wrong with it, and then we're going to fix it.
Yes.
Which is 90% of world business. But it would be nice if there was something different. So that's about it. I think I explained my problems with FFG. Mine not enough, but
so I have a question for Christophe Brun. So how do you explain that? The fact that they knew about the app like for more than a year, right? Before the due date.
It's a combination of getting the bottom dollar bid. It's a combination of
I don't understand getting
so bottom dollar bid. I'm sure they had
the lowest price, right? The cheapest contractor.
Yeah, they're not creating these apps from like massive like think tank programming companies.
They're not hiring Silicon Valley to do these.
Right.
Okay, but I'm just going to be the devil's advocate there. How do you know that? You say that, but how do you know that? Did you talk to them? Did they tell you that?
The product rollout alone.
Right. You can see the end product. I mean, the
end product obviously tells me that they did not have the top level professionals working on it.
Okay, I accept that.
That alone showed that. But we got a new FAQ, which I'm very interested in.
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm delaying the next segment.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're trying to coach your way out of a coach, but your coach knows better than the coach.
No.
And you can't out-coach coach.
No. I'm sorry, I tried.
You tried, and I appreciate the effort. But I'm really interested in this new FAQ. There's some very interesting stuff in it. Correct, Chico?
Yes.
First of all, where can we find that?
So you just go to fantasyflightgames.com, products, X-Wing, 2nd edition, scroll down, rules reference.
So you're not
even in the news.
You're not going to find the rules reference on the app.
And you won't find it on FFG French version either, because they're like a month behind everything all the time.
That's rough. So they oh god, is it gone? Oh no, I clicked on the wrong one. Give me a second.
So if you normally go
2nd edition rules reference, there we go.
If you normally go through the process of what you would normally do is you go to FFG, you go to OP, you go to the FAQ for X-Wing. There is a new FAQ open. So Chico is now
rules reference.
The rules reference. I'm sorry. We're not doing FAQs anymore?
Well, the FAQ is in the rules reference.
Okay. All right.
So this is the document they will update once in a while?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
it's the FAQ product.
This is I think them trying to like we got a lot of questions. We're gonna like get caught up until finally the app catches up to everything, and then the app should have all the rules and all the updated stuff on it. But as of now,
they still need to have a static version because some people.
Yes, they still need to have a downloadable PDF version, and this is what this is. So
okay.
So anyways, what's in here? And I'm stealing the condensed list from Ryan Farmer, who stole it from Reddit.
Okay.
Yes.
And I will steal it to say it in French in my next episode.
There you go. So one of the big things on here is that red actions, if you fail them, you still take stress, and you still are considered that you perform the action.
Okay,
and this is a direct contradiction from what the rules reference said previously.
Yes. Yes.
So like it's a significant change.
It's good though.
Yes, I agree. One of the questions I've been dealing with lately it solves is afterburners and composure. Because afterburners says spend a charge to perform a boost. But if you fail the boost, did you actually perform it? There was some confusion there, so you could just forever use composure to get free focus as long as you could purposely fail a boost. Really stupid shit. But it looked like it worked until they put this out, and they were like, no, you performed it whether you failed it or not, and you're going to get the stress anyways. It's like, okay, cool. I'm okay with that. Because like when I look at some of those rules and I'm like, man, I think that works. But that's some stupid bullshit. Like I'm glad when they eliminate the stupid bullshit. So I'm happy with that. And then so some of this stuff is like what Chris Allen motherfucker put this question forth and screamed loud enough that this had to be put in the FAQ. You can't change a die to a result that's not printed on the die.
What?
So,
what? So you can't change a die to an evade if it's a red dice.
Yes. that is in the rules reference.
Nice. You know what? I'm glad they did it because I was about to do it. So,
but oh my gosh, like the fact that has to be in there is just hilarious. Ships that deploy in the system phase can't activate that activation phase because you never set a dial for them. They don't get an action. Like they just deploy and do their normal deploy thing. So it makes sense. So I'm glad they did that. Ships that dock during the system phase don't activate even though you set a dial for them. It just makes sense. Good. I'm glad they did that. Locks only fail if there's no valid object. So
you cannot fail a lock. I'm sorry, you can't fail a lock. Seriously,
it is nearly impossible to fail a lock.
You need to work hard to fail a lock. Right?
Oh yeah, and if you're an E-wing, I seriously don't think it's possible.
That's right.
So good. Like I'm glad they just threw that in there. Although it sucks for like the corner case of if I have a lock on one person and I'm like, okay, I like this lock, but this other lock might be better. I'm gonna try for it, but if it fails, I'll just keep this one over here.
No.
And like suddenly you're in a situation of, oh shit, I gotta pick something. But not a huge deal. No. What else do we got? Clarified you cannot apply range bonuses to attacks with the little missile icon. I guess some people were arguing about Grand Inquisitor. I don't know why that was a concern.
What was the deal with Grand Inquisitor?
Grand Inquisitor. I'll pull up our delightful Squad Builder app. Galactic Empire, TIE Advanced V1, Grand Inquisitor. What do you say? While you defend an attack at range 1, you may spend a thing to prevent range 1 bonus. While you perform an attack against a defender at attack range 2 to 3, you may spend it to apply the range 1. But I don't know.
Come on, man! You're Chico Brown. You know everything. You can say that.
I don't know why other people were complaining though.
Okay.
But anyways, you can't do that now. So on to our second Chris Allen. What the hell were you thinking? You are not in your own firing arc.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
I always ruled this way.
That is directly a Chris Allen thing because he was trying to do a Saz Venturous to give a stress to yourself to trigger one of the upgrades that says you have to be stressed to allow rerolls or something. Yeah. So
nice try, Alan.
Yeah. So not a thing anymore. And then they have down in the FAQ section now. they added something that I'm super surprised of and wasn't even in that list that he had. Static discharge vanes. They've errated it. So before it said, if you would gain an ion or jam, you may choose a ship at range 0 to 1. If you do, gain a stress token to transfer 1 ion or jam token to that ship. So what they're changing it to, you get the token and then you transfer it away.
Okay.
Instead, the card before was, if you before you would get that token, the other person just gets it. So instead, now you actually get it and give it away, which now it triggers with feedback array that you can now take the cost for feedback array, give your ion token to your opponent's ship, and damage them. So you end up with weapons disabled stress, and your opponent ends up with ion and a damage. And that is weird that they let that happen, because that seems like a weird combination. I don't know if it'll be any good, but it's weird.
In your point of view, what would be the right combination for that?
The way they had it before wasn't even really good, because you couldn't do the damage, but you could take the weapons disabled and ion and then give the ion away and then keep the stress. So that wasn't great either. But how they resolve that all together, I don't know.
But then what would be the best way to resolve it?
I would almost make feedback array try to self-contain that one, so that you're doing a thing and you have to take that cost, and there's no way to make that cost disappear.
Okay, I get it. Yeah,
if you could get the wording down so that it was like that, so that it didn't have this ridiculous combo that suddenly makes feedback array even better, because it turns it into one of those situations of, okay, now there's some crazy bullshit going on, and eliminating that, I think, is good.
Okay.
So we'll see how it plays out, but I'm curious.
Okay.
So next, the arc clarification, and this one was huge.
This is huge.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't understand it. So there's the little arc icon, and the
180-degree icon.
Yeah, let's go ahead and present.
Yeah, I'll present you.
This will be easier.
There we go.
So
gotcha.
Here we go. Okay. So arcs, can a ship that only uses a turret or front arc attack use effects that require you to perform a front arc attack?
Forward
arc.
So
what they're doing here is this is a defined term now. Direction with the word attack.
So it's not an arc, it's the attack. It means the primary weapon, right?
No, it's both.
Primary weapon or a missile. Any type of weapon that is a front arc attack is now a thing. So fearlessness, outmaneuver, trigger off of those. If you have a turret pointing out the front, it does not trigger that, because that is not a front arc attack. Those are different things.
You know what, Chico? I asked you a question Saturday morning, right, about Cavill and
Cavill getting the extra die out the front.
Yes. So because
of this.
It's two different icons, right? And it's referring to the weapon and not the arc. So it should be good, right?
Yes.
Correct.
So Cavill shooting out the front with a turret gets the extra die.
God damn it, I lost my tournament because of you.
What? Well,
no.
Technically, this rule wasn't in place back then.
Tournament. But I agree with you. That's the way I would do it. But yeah, that's it. But that tournament, there was too many people against me, so I had to give up. So.
Yeah, and so same thing with they explain it down here that veteran turret gunner. you can now double tap out the front. So it's essentially the BTL upgrade. So like things that refer to the front arc, that's a direction. Front arc attack, that is an attack.
Yes.
So
if there's the word attack next to the icon, it's not the same as if there's only the icon, right?
Correct.
Right.
Nice.
And the turret indicator,
it's not the same either, right?
Right.
So that's a weapon.
That little icon is different than that.
Yes. So the turret indicator is a weapon. It's not an arc.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
So
yes.
and it's even not just the weapon, because if you fire off of one direction on the bow tie, the double arc,
yes,
then you can use veteran turret gunner to choose the opposite direction with the same weapon, because that is a different arc.
You know what, Chico? I like the way you think.
Right. because if we scroll up like way up about here, arc firing arcs
right there,
turret arc. There we go. Yep. A ship with a double turret arc indicator has 2 of those in opposite directions. Yes. So you can now do that. So now people are freaking out. It's like, oh man, now people can do the double tap thing and oh god, the triple tap ghost. But we'll get to that.
But it all comes down to read the fucking rules.
Yeah. And like it's more defined now. It's like I was having huge arguments with people that
they needed to do this. They really did, because it was up for debate, and
it was a gray zone. Now it's more clear, black and white.
And there was right arguments on both sides. That was the problem.
Right.
Yes. This was a rule that they needed to come up with. So.
Right. So now we come down here to the Boba Fett versus Boba Fett question. If for some reason you can't place Boba Fett, what do? You put it on your side, range 1 from the board edge, standard deployment.
So the guy with initiative just do it, and you're screwed. You do it as normal, range 1.
Right. So there can be some interesting counterplay there, but it's not huge.
Okay.
So whatever. List building.
Guys, do you think this will have a big impact? Is it often that 2 players with Boba Fett will face each other, or it's
only at Coruscant?
The only way this is going to happen is at Coruscant.
Okay, I know. But let's say next world.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No. It won't happen enough that it'll matter.
It's not that good of a card that everyone's going to be running.
Yeah, I don't see anybody using Boba Fett and going, oh shit, I need to have a plan in case I bring another Boba Fett.
Yeah,
that's not happening.
Yeah.
So this one, changing your values doesn't change your variable cost upgrades.
Explain that, because I'm not sure I'm following.
Okay, so there are some of these variable cost upgrades that change based on your agility value. Yes. If you take stealth device, that changes your agility value. So does it change the cost of that card because your agility value has changed? No. All of your agility value and stat increases aren't part of list building phase. Those don't come into effect until you're in the game.
Okay, good. Okay, makes sense. Yes.
Which could have an interesting impact if they have things later on that are like, this upgrade card requires an agility of 3.
Yeah.
You take stealth devices like, now I can do it. Well, now they're saying no.
Okay.
Not a huge deal. Here's the locking question again that was in there. This one is really fucking weird. Kagi and R3 Astromech and transferring.
Okay, wait. I will read the question, okay? What happens when 2 locks from the same ship with an R3 Astromech are transferred into a single ship, such as Captain Kagi's pilot abilities? You have 5 seconds, Chico. Now.
So R3 Astromech lets you maintain 2 locks. If you transfer those to a ship that can only hold 1 lock, it can only hold 1 lock. The other one's broken. Done.
Boom.
There you go.
1.5 point.
That's strong. No, that's seriously strong.
But it's just normal, no?
Yeah,
Basic
well, I mean,
Basic.
if you try to give 2 locks to something that can only have 1 lock, it can only have 1 lock.
Yeah.
Common sense.
Oh.
Why did you have to write that down?
Well, common sense is
Right.
That's a
common
keyword.
sense is a fleeting thing these days. So
Okay.
So next one, if you're instructed to roll or re-roll a certain number of dice or all dice, and you have less possible than that, you re-roll as many as possible. So people were saying like saturation salvo simply doesn't work on 1 agility ships because it requires 2 re-rolls. But they come up here and they say no. If you're going against something with 1, you just roll 1. But if you're going
Common
against
sense again.
yes, that
You
that
know
was
what?
common sense
Who
one.
are the motherfuckers who complain about that saying that, right? Come on, read the rule book. It's simple. It's there. Why do you have
Trolls,
to
internet
search
trolls,
beyond those?
Bruno, you
and
know
Zach
this.
Bart. His name is Zach Bart.
Oh no! Don't throw the professor
Seriously,
under the bus.
play a game and have fun. Why do you have to read between the lines and between the words?
Bruno, the
I don't get
fact is the sad fact this game is almost too big that not everyone is just in it to have fun.
Okay,
Right.
I accept.
So
Which might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. I don't know. But
Maybe I'm naive, right?
you are naive, yes. Just
Thank
like
you.
me, buddy.
Okay.
So next one we got, Cicatro Vizago can exchange illicit upgrade cards between 2 ships and give an illicit to a ship that cannot equip it in list building phase. So the example they have is a stealth device on a Z95 and rig cargo chutes on a YV666. They can exchange those. So your Z95 now has rig cargo chutes and your YV is now stealth device.
Oh, damn.
Yes, restrictions
That-
are
that one is
ignored after
surprising.
setup unless noted otherwise. I don't get it. Okay.
Oh,
Chico?
okay. No, that's interesting. So,
Yeah, so you can end up with illicits on ships that usually cannot equip them
take
because
illicits.
Vizago's crazy.
Okay, so I choose an upgrade, right? That my ship cannot take, but because I have Vizago, later on in the game, I will ignore
Yes.
the
Right.
restriction because of that. So I can choose something really weird or too powerful for my ship that he cannot equip, but later on, because of Vizago, he'll be equipping it and doing weird shit with him.
Right. So Vizago, for those who don't know, during the end phase, you may choose 2 illicit upgrades equipped to friendly ships at range 0 to 1. If you do, you may exchange those upgrades.
Yes.
So just exchanges them. Boop.
Okay, no matter the requirements. Is that it?
Right.
He exchanged them.
Yeah. It's just you
shit.
give them.
Man, you guys produce a podcast that's way more advanced than I can handle.
Oh, this is easy stuff.
So I mean, a lot of these, a lot of these don't really have requirements. I mean, contraband cybernetics, deadman switch, feedback array,
Just
initial
kidding.
terminals. Those don't have requirements.
advanced, man.
Rig cargo shoot is
Way
the only one with
beyond you
requirement.
guys.
Hey, when you go live in Quebec, just let me know. We'll give you all of our tips and tricks and sharing screens and shit like that.
Merci Aaron, j'accepte qu'est-ce que tu dis. Yes.
Oui, oui.
So here's another one with Grand Inquisitor, and evidently he was trying to get some special bonuses with Ordnance. Sorry, Grand Inquisitor, you're not as overpowered as you think.
Okay, hey, Chico and Coach.
Yes.
Who are the people that come with those situations and make them enough importance so FFG feels the need to make a fact about it. You know, if I'm stupid, right, and I say, can I do this and that, and everybody knows that you can't do that because you're a stupid fuck.
I think
I rant and I talk loud enough that FFG says, oh, maybe we could do a question and answer for that because this motherfucker cannot see common sense. So we'll do it for all the other people that they understand, right?
Well, and a lot of it's who you know, like getting visibility of your issue, like what you think is important.
I'm gonna go with
I'm too casual for this. I quit.
I'm going to go with half of the camp is, and I think this is 75%. They're bringing this up and they're making this an issue because they know that it should be changed or it should be spelled out.
Okay.
There's probably 25% of people that are going, and 25% of the people that are rules lawyering this and going, you know, well, it should be this way. 75% of them are going, please make this clear enough so we don't have to deal with the other 25%.
So what you're saying
right now, everybody's trying to create the next Dengaroo, and they want to find that broken combo that makes the next world's winning list.
The way I understand this, Aaron, is that some people do that as preventive measures to be sure that some stupid fuck won't come with that question in a tournament, and Chico will have to manage that, right?
Yep.
And the other one are just stupid fucks that see that and they're trying to find the loophole and the weakness in the rules.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's it. It's a majority of us trying to save other people from the pain.
Thank you. Thank you for saving me from the pain.
You're welcome.
Here's one that I actually think is a big deal, and I'm glad they did this. Han Solo Rebel Gunner. It talks about having an additional attack at I-7. And it wasn't called a bonus attack, so it was just this nebulous attack thing. They are now declaring it as a bonus attack. So you only get one bonus attack per round. So the triple tap ghost is gone.
That's huge.
Yes, it is. So if I understand right, everything that is not the normal attack is a bonus attack. Right?
There's
outside of the standard attack.
Yeah, engagement.
Yes.
So you have your engagement, and you can have bonus attack.
That's it.
So 1 and 1. So at most you can have 2.
Yes.
I agree with Mad Beddick. Fake. I'm putting an F on that.
So no matter how you call the other attack, it's a bonus attack. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good.
No, and it needed to be in there. Like that triple tap thing.
I got it to
work. I got it to work once. It wasn't great. I mean, I had no mods and whatever, but it was still, I got to shoot 3 times.
Yeah. So last 2 on here, I think are pretty quick. If you're using Iden to prevent damage, you can't prevent the ion cannon or tractor beam effect. Those can still get through. You're only preventing the damage, not the effects
that goes through. Okay.
I'm a filthy casual. Can you remind me what this guy does?
So Iden, let's go back through this delightful app. Leave Galactic Empire, TIE Fighter. There it is.
You navigate through that as if
he's done it a couple of times.
You master it, eh? You were.
Yes. So even though he's I'm going to do the opposite of what Farmer told me to do. We're going to make it bigger.
You're slowing down.
Bigger. There we go. Before a friendly TIE fighter at range 0 to 1 would suffer 1 or more damage, you can spend his charge. If you do, prevent that damage. So you're preventing the damage, but you cannot prevent the effect of like an ion turret. So oh god, get back small. So if I pull up like ion turret, so let's pull up an aggressor here, give him a turret. So ion turret, if this attack hits, spend 1 damage result to cause the defender to suffer 1 damage. All remaining results inflict ion tokens. So you can prevent that damage portion with Iden,
But you'll still be ionized.
All remaining, you still get ioned.
Okay.
Got it?
So and it works one time, right? Because it has one charge.
Yeah, iodine only gets one charge. So if you're wasting it on that, holy crap, it better be important. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So last thing here, and I think this is another one of those common sense things. The Nashta pup, when it deploys, it gets the ability of the ship it's deploying from. If that ship it's deploying from had charge tokens, those charge tokens get transferred over to the pup. You don't suddenly get new charge tokens to make it, amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that one was kind of obvious. So yeah, I think everything in there was pretty good. I think there was only like one thing I kind of disagreed with, and that was the yep, just lost it. What was it? Static discharge vanes. I wasn't a fan of that one. So oh well.
Coach?
Yes, I am here and listening.
You want me to host? Or
that's all I've got. I'm done.
And not paying attention to Gordon yelling in the chat.
I wish I had the chat right now.
Oh, we never got to that, did we? Don't worry. It's just Gordon. It's just Gordon.
Gordon the worst, who got trashed by Zach Matthews in the quiz. Yes.
Wrecked, all capital letters.
We all got trashed by Zach.
Yeah. You guys are talking from the land of the shame and disregard.
Hey, I'm pretty sure you lost earlier today. For those of you who showed up late, go watch it.
Oh, you guys definitely missed the greatest, possibly the greatest first 25 minutes in OCX history.
You know what? Send me that, and I will edit it as a quiz.
Why? You can just download it off YouTube tomorrow.
No, I want it to be part of the show.
Well, I'm not going to download it off YouTube.
So screw you. You won't get it. That's all right.
That's the only place it's at. So, oh boy. All right. So that was a lot as an FAQ. That was quite a bit for our first 2.0 FAQ, I thought.
Wait. Is it presented as an FAQ or is just like an updated
new version of the rules reference with additional FAQ in it?
So we're gonna treat it as is.
Okay, I accept.
That's it I got for Chino, so we're just gonna go with it. You boys, well, do we have
a bad list submission?
Do we have time for a bad list submission?
Whatever, go for it.
What's Jose say?
Who's Jose?
Jose is empty, but
I think Jose says Chico's gonna need a Jerry Holt morning hangover.
You want to go to a commercial so Chico can go and fill his mug there?
No, Chico does not need any more.
Throw us the bad.
You know what?
Submission.
What do you got?
I have an Olympic lever, so my beer is not finished yet, so I might get another one. So,
all right.
Okay. You want me to go through the my bad list submission?
Yep. Yes. Let's throw it on us.
What is funny though is that list I presented it in my French show as a good list, all right? But something is not working in it, and you need to find it out, all right?
Oh no, we don't work on this shit. We just make fun of it.
Yeah, but you need to make fun of it for the right reasons.
All right, okay. We'll try.
Okay, I tried to make a control list out of rebels. So my first ship is Fenro in the Shitipede with Freelancer Slicers and R3 Astromech. Then I have a Rebel Scout with the Hawk 290 with Moldy Crow. Then I have a Y-Wing with Dutch Vendor with Ion Turret and Hotshot Gunner. And I have also another Y-Wing with Gold Squadron Veteran, Ion Turret, and Seismic Charge.
That gunner on Dutch. What was the crew or gunner on Dutch?
Hotshot Gunner. So after his attack, after the modify die step, the guy can modify, and then he need to remove a token.
Yeah, it's Hotshot Copilot.
Oh, Hotshot Copilot. Okay.
Yeah, same thing.
And which Hawk was it?
It's just Rebel Operative.
Rebel Scout with Moldy Crow. So the thing there was Fenro. You know, if somebody's in his arc, he can remove a target lock, use a target lock or something like that to prevent him from using his token, right? So he has also Freelancer to. If he gets attacked, he can force the other one to take a jam or something like that. I don't remember exactly. And R3 has to make so he can maintain 2 locks, right? So with that, he can play with the ability of the other ships. With Dutch Vendor, I don't remember his activity, his ability, but what's Dutch Vendor?
It's.
Oh, he gives another target lock to somebody else.
Give it to somebody else.
Yes. So the goal of that is giving target lock to either Fenro or the Gold Squadron veteran, so he can fire better, and remove tokens with Hotshot Gunners. And there's a bit of space control with the seismic charge, but it's behind, so it's later in the game. Right. All right. So can you tell me what doesn't work there?
Fuck, I don't know why that Rebel Scouts are there.
It's that's the power ship.
That's the power ship. Okay. Yes. Well, I'm looking at like a lot of easy targets is what I'm looking.
He has but whoa. The Hawk 290 now is good. He has jam action also. So yeah,
it is, but.
Well, the one thing I find interesting here is that with Fen Rao with the comm shuttle, that's a while you're docked thing. So never mind, fuck that.
No. So you've got basically a 2, and then like a 6.
2, 3, 4, 6.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 6.
The goal is for Fen Rao to prevent the opponent from using his tokens, right? Then with Dutch and the Hotshot Gunner, it's the same thing. You remove tokens, and with the iron turrets, the 2 Y-wing have iron turrets, so they try to iron the other ship, so you control their movement a bit. And if you're lucky, you will at some point drop the seismic charge that will bust or explode an obstacle that will hurt some people. But what is not, and you have the freelance slicer. What?
Staniszewski wins it on Topsky, baby. Fen take the lock action.
Exactly. The R3 Astromech doesn't go there because you cannot take a lock action. Why was he not on the show, that guy?
Why is he not a regular? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
So that's
why we call him on Topsky.
The Shitty Pete does not have the lock action. So R3 Astromech is fun, but doesn't work there. It would be good, though.
Oh, because Dutch only gives a target lock, doesn't give a target lock action.
Exactly. So the app, the FFG app, does not tell you that you can't put that there, right? You can't put it.
You can put it there. You're just going to be struggling to get a target lock action.
Exactly.
Bruno, this is why we have a live chat. There are a lot smarter people that watch us than on the show.
So I presented that list in my French show as, this is a good control list, guys. Play that. So I played it in the launch tournament, and I got, I can do that. Okay. Live and learn.
Bruno, so golf clap to you, buddy. I was trying to figure out, I was like, this doesn't sound like a bad list. It just looks like a mismanaged list, but nope. You got me.
Thank you.
That's a big kudos to On Topsky, buddy. Thank you very much for that one. Ooh, that was a good one. Okay. All right. You know, it felt good to do a bad list submission. We don't do those enough. That was kind of one of our staples, and it's just the show just goes on long enough. Whatever. Anyway, we're gonna do some shout outs, I think, before we send this off to Yubnubland. So as always, Bruno, you are the guest. You get your first shout outs. So
Okay, define shout outs.
People you want to thank, people you don't want to thank. This is basically your moment to plug or unplug anything you want. So,
all right. So the community in Moncton, New Brunswick, you know where that is? It's in Ride Canada, according to Zach Matthews. Ride Canada, right?
Future America.
Future America. We won't go there, right? So, New Brunswick, Moncton. If you are ever there, go to the Comic Hunters. There's a nice community there. They're the warmest and most welcoming community I've faced so far. So I want to say hi to them. They are really good. Every time I go there for work, we go for a beer the day before, then we play and we have a good time. And last night I was in London, Ontario, for a lunch tournament. I had a good time. Was not prepared for the for the level of competition that was there, but I had a good time. So I want to say hi to them. And every French community that they won't listen to this. So I say hi to the. No,
you don't know that.
No,
we've reached quite a long ways.
Yeah, French people in Quebec will, but French people in France won't because they can't. No, that's right. And it's not bad. It's not mean. It's just the way it is. They don't really speak French. You know what? Between England and France, there was a big, battle and stuff, and over the centuries, and now it's the French. They can't speak English, right? And they don't want to learn it, and they have a hard time with it. So it's hard for them to listen to the English podcast. And when I post stuff in English on the group, they can't read it. And I tried to do an episode with French people doing what's in the conversion kit, and they had a hard time reading it. I had to correct them all the time and saying, no, that's not it. No, man, no, that's not it. Yeah, almost not. No. All right.
Just no.
No. Let me read it. That's all right. I'll read it. It's okay. So, so hi to them and the whole French community, because I posted before this saying I will try to make the French community look good. I don't know if I did, but
you did.
I hope so. Yeah, you think so? So
I think so.
Because you know what? Since we're the only French podcast, we are kind of the lighthouse. Everybody kind of center on us, on me. So yeah. So, but not. I'm kidding, because in Quebec City, they have a good group there. They are doing stuff. So anyway, I'm kind of all over the place now. So hi to everybody I know. Is that good?
And Peter.
Oh, Peter, my friend. Yes. Yes.
We love you too, Peter.
Yeah. All right, and everybody that I forgot. Peter speaking.
That was a good Oscar speech. I like that one. Mm-hmm. Chico, anybody?
All right. Yeah. Whoa!
No, wait a minute.
We gotta talk.
Time out. You just changed my entire world. I saw the rest of the fucking room there for a second.
Yeah, it's moved, eh?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
No. We gotta talk, people out there in Minot land. Like, I get it. Coach is like out there in left field, crazy drunk bastard. But you know what? He's our family. So fuck you. Like, I know you ain't listening to this because it's not your thing, but he's our fuck up. So leave him alone. Just fuck off back to your content, big words and shit.
I agree with Chico. I don't know why he's saying that, but I agree with him. What's the story
No
behind
way.
that? Chico, what's the story behind that?
So, Coach went on my knock last week, and let's just say the internet hated it.
Why? What did they say?
Well, because
he's unlistenable.
They said they could not listen to the episode because it was so bad.
Whoa, no.
Do not have him on again, or I will stop listening.
No. Really?
Let's see, what were some of my other favorite quotes?
Wow, what kind of princesses that listen to the Minox, right?
One of my favorite quotes was he drunk at the end?
Oh, come on.
At the end? Are you kidding?
Wow, are you serious?
Oh man, you can go to the Minox Squadron page. There's like a lot of comments. There's like two different threads of comments going.
Oh yeah, they're that like picky and sensible.
Let's see. Oh, one of my favorite was, man, it sounded like my uncle who comes to Thanksgiving and drunk and just talks politics. And I was like,
wow.
All right.
How old are they? Like 12?
It was, I'm not going to lie, it was probably not my most shining moment.
Oh, it was good.
Like you said, I take over every podcast I go on, and I was not in accordance with the Gordon rule. Should have been, and I wasn't.
But okay,
Ryan and Dee had no idea what was coming there.
Okay, but did they tell you the rules of engagement before the start of the podcast?
No,
this is the structure or the framework you need to work in.
I said I dropped the first
F-bomb. They were too busy making a song.
I dropped.
Stop singing, people. Stop singing. X-Wing is not about singing. Okay?
I dropped the first F-bomb, and they all kind of went, "Whoa, we need to bleep that one." And I was like, "Oh shit, that's right." And of course, I keep swearing because I get it. And they're like, and then Ryan's like, "Nah, fuck it. This is not the episode for kids, everyone." And then he probably, I don't know, It's in the past. It's done. It's over. I've actually got a lot of people that loved the episode and messaged me. They're like, you know what? Fucking A. I actually liked when someone spoke their mind. It wasn't PC. It wasn't this. And hell, we have a ton of new OCX followers on the group page because of that. Because they're like, you know what? You're right, Coach. I don't like the way this is going, and I don't like the way this is this.
So it means that it's true that each podcast has his own listener bases according to what they do, right?
And I ventured into the wrong one.
That's amazing to me because I listen to all of them or almost, and I don't get shocked or angry because these say that these are bad. All right, they say what they say. I agree or not, and I move on. Right?
Most of the podcasts that I've been asked on, if they go right away at the beginning, it's like, well, we got Coach on. He's from OCX, so we're gonna swear. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I didn't realize. Well,
Coach, you're not a monster. You're not a freak show. You're an Aaron Crawl, right?
You're a human being.
Yes. Why do they need to warn people that you are in?
They do. No, they really do. They really do. Especially when
some of these shows try to be like family friendly, and then you pull on somebody who is incapable of being family friendly.
when you go into the Minox have prided themselves on no strong language, a lot of content. I mean, you listen to the Minox. They are
Disney,
not coach friendly. Let's just say that. And when I come on, and there's no warning to their audience that
but Coach, before you went in the Minox, you knew what they were. Why didn't you adjust to them?
Oh man, there's no adjusting here. Like, I'm sorry.
Coach is coach. That's it. Fuck
You know that. Like, I don't know.
That's pretty much the answer.
I tried. I thought I was pretty good for the first hour, but I just can't help myself. I don't know what it is.
Okay, what would you say was the most outrageous thing you said during that episode?
So they asked. It's not going to be the most outrageous thing, but to me, it was the most outrageous thing that I said. They asked me what would be my weapon in the Star Wars universe.
The dumb question.
And for some fucking reason, I said it would be
my dick.
It would be the canteen that took in the green milk during The Last Jedi.
He starts going on and on about squirting green milk at a lightsaber.
How the hell my mind went there at that time?
It is so good.
I have no idea.
That was the moment I knew you went from like being like coach, probably a little drunk, to fucking gone.
You are a god, Aaron. You are a god, man. I worship you.
I listened to it. I was like, yeah, I could just go around and squirt people in the face with the green milk, and that would render them like incapable of doing anything else. I figured,
but then they were like, but what if they use the Force and shoot the milk back in your face?
But it's the Force green milk. It's I don't know.
It's good for my health.
And that's basically what he said. It is like, oh, this is so dumb.
At that point of the night, I was, man. Let's just say it wasn't the greatest showing I could have had.
You know what? I wish I were
popular X-Wing podcast out there.
Okay, then what was the second most outrageous thing you said? Okay, what triggered the hatred of the Minoc fans? What did you say?
Okay, so we have to like step back and say that it was right after the app released. It was Monday, the whole weekend thing, and my big thing during that whole cast was I was ragging on FFG as a store owner, not an X-Wing player, and people were going like, well, if I wanted to hear people hate against X-Wing, I'd go listen to something else or something like that. I was like, okay, relax, everyone. I wasn't hating on X-Wing as a player. I was hating on X-Wing because the unrealistic expectations that FFG is putting on small store owners in order to get an FFG launch kit. I gotta buy $2,000+ of FFG shit in order to get my fucking 4 packs of little old art cards. What? No.
Yeah.
But it got way out of hand. Might have
like crazy.
Might have had a little too much to drink. And
I think the part that the Minoc listeners were expecting that never happened is like D's had those complaints before. He's complained about things, but then what they do is they have a bit of a back and forth of here's my complaint, here's why I have this complaint, what could they do to change things to eliminate this complaint, and they have a discussion over it. Where you had no interest in having a discussion, you were just like fuck the world.
They were not ready. They were not ready.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think they'll ever be ready. But you know what?
But like D would try to rebuttal, and you were like, "No, they fucking ruined it." And I was like, even me sitting there, I was like, "What was he about to say, D?" I feel like he was about to have a point. No.
Okay. Well, if you guys do your shout outs, I'm going to shout out mine, and I'm going to have a big apology shout out to D and Ryan because, boys, I thank you from the bottom of my heart letting me be on the show because I've been listening to you guys since your inception, and I've always wanted to be on the show, and I was. And man, did I fuck that up.
You know what, Coach? You're like the Doors. You know Doors on the Ed Sullivan show? Yeah, I've been there, done that. Fuck you. You know, we did it. You were on the Minox. Fuck that. Yeah. You know?
I can't lie and not say that wasn't Coach, because it was to a T. Maybe not tonight. Like I said, the Gordon rule's gone, and I really need to stick to that fucking Gordon rule. God damn it. But I want to thank them.
Coach. Before you end your, I'm sorry, I'm taking over the show again. Before you end your shout-outs, to me, who is a kind of a newcomer, the Minox, right? You said you always wanted to be on the show and so on and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Are they the number one top dog that, you know, X-Wing podcast, Minox? That's it. That's all. You know, everybody aspire to be as the Minox?
Well, I'm not going to say aspire to be them, but as an audience-wise, yeah, they're the top dogs.
Why?
They just have the largest audience.
Why? I'm doing an investigation where with the five wives
some good discussion. They were
one of the first ones that went weekly.
Edited fairly well. Not great, but it's edited fairly well. They have good content. They could get good guests on. It's just a fairly well done podcast. They have good banter back and forth. I think their cast is well built all around.
They were one of the first. They were one of the first that issued the weekly podcast.
Okay, I will say something that is not politically correct.
Go ahead.
Do you say that because you want to be in their good grace, or you because they are the Minox and everybody love the Minox? If you say something that you don't love the Minox, you're gonna be bad and so on, or because you really think it, right? Do you know what I'm trying to say? My English is a bit limited. I don't want to sound like harsh or anything, but
I totally get what you're saying. Okay. Me wanting to be on the Minox podcast was like me wanting to be on Nova, because Nova Squadron Radio was the first one that I picked up because I was at the beginning of the game. They started at the beginning of the game. You always want to be on the podcast that you heard first, right? Okay. Like, well, then Nova went away.
Like me on OCX, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Now you lived your dream?
Yes, been there, done that. Fuck you now.
I couldn't be on Nova. The next step up was Scum and Villainy or Minox, because they were kind of, Minox was wave 2. I like to call them wave 2 of the podcast, and they were the ones that I picked up heavily after Nova kind of either went down or not even went down, but they were the next ones that were there, and they did a weekly podcast, and I picked them up. And I've been listening to them since they started. So me wanting to be on their podcast was just nostalgia. Not saying that they are. I'm saying they're the number one podcast for listener-wise, for community-wise. Not saying they're the best podcast, because I don't think these days you can have a best podcast.
No, I don't think
the variety of intellectual want is too broad. That's why we have our audience. That's why you have your audience. Minox still has the biggest audience, but just because I think they've been around the longest and they've adapted to
out of habits, you think, or
they've adapted to what needs to happen. I mean, I can clearly tell you
started. They were kind of like the crazy bunch. Like, they were the Crates before Crates came out. Like, I remember judging Worlds and seeing them walk in screaming like idiots. I'm like, oh great, they're here. But like not realizing that they eventually would become this powerhouse of like quality, like good players talking about content.
Yes.
And that's a combo that I think a lot of people latch on to, is you get good players talking about how to be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, you know, that's something that they've done really well. and that's what brings in a big audience, and that's what Nova Squadron had a lot of, because we had Major Juggler, we had Paul Heaver, good players discussing good X-Wing and how to get better, and that causes people to gravitate there. And I think a huge part of the Nova Squadron radio listener base went to Minot.
Time out. Coach is like laughing his ass out.
Oh.
Why? What's happened?
So you might get to know our good friend Mark Bentham, but he has the best quotes in the world. First of all, when this whole Minot episode came out and people were like ragging on it, he wrote like a tagline, something like he's like, and then OCX people are like, what are they all complaining about? Right? Question mark. And now he just wrote in the chat, Coach is objectively the best Minot host.
Objectively.
No, like I said, you can nitpick every podcast the best way you want to. We started out as a podcast and they told me multiple times this Monday, we're the people's podcast. We put everybody on. We don't discriminate. You want to be on the show? You just message us. We'll put you on the show. We don't care. We want to hear from everybody. Hell, we have a whole OCX 2.0 crew made up of people who've been with the show forever. That we said, fuck it, let's just let them have an entire show here and there. And it's objective and subjectively way better than our show. So we only save them for the good times. But between our town halls and our guests and everything, like a lot of other podcasts have guests that are either good players or this and that. No, we don't. We'll have podcast hosts, and then next week we'll have just random players on the show.
Yes.
The other shows have the good players. We just get Ryan Staniszewski,
that like consistent top fucking 4 or something like that.
Yeah, which is not there when I'm on, right?
Yeah.
He's a regular member of the cast, but when I'm on, he's not there. Like Mark and the other one. So
yeah.
Right.
But like I said, it's one of those things. But my other shout out, like I said, I think I shouted out our Patreons enough on the Minot show.
Good God.
I can't wait to see the pictures of everybody's stuff they get. So when you guys get your stuff, put them on the Facebook page. Like, plug that baby. We have some new stuff in the works. Hopefully we'll be able to roll that out in the next week. So as for shout outs to everyone else, man, I love you all. If you didn't like me, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna change, guys. Coach is gonna be coach as long as coach is still coach.
Can I edit my shout outs?
Sure.
I want to add you guys because, like I said at the beginning of the show, you're the first one to invite us on the podcast, and I'm trying to find ways to make this last longer, right? Because I'm having a good time right now. I don't want this to end.
Having a good time, aren't you?
Oh yeah, this is great. This is really great.
We're not called the Podcasters Club Med for nothing. This is vacation for
this is right now. This is great. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Christophe. I'm having a blast. Seriously, I hope you will have me again.
Oh, of course.
Even though I have a thick accent.
Fuck your accent.
Yeah, fuck my accent.
You ever try to hear Mark Bentham on a phone? Try to call into the show. That's tough.
From an ambulance.
Wherever
he is.
Okay. So, thank you guys. I really appreciate that, and I'm glad. Not glad, but I'm respectful, or I don't know the right word, but thank you. Right.
Both the right words.
Okay, thank you. So thank you very much for having me.
I'm sure D-Yoon would have a better, much longer word. But
a French word said in English, right? Because most of the words you use, I understand because they're French words that he says in English. So All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. Eh?
I think we're gonna send this off to the Yub Nub.
Can we do italics Yub Nubs?
Ooh,
Can we do it in French?
Sure.
Sure. What's Yub Nub in French?
What's italics in French?
Italic and yub yub. Yub yub. Yub yub. Yub yub.
This is my italics Yub Nub. I'm italics.
Italics.
Oh man.
Oh.
All right. I'm sorry I dragged you guys for almost an hour in the morning, but I had a great time. I didn't want to let it go.
This is quitting time for us.
That is morning me's problem. Like, fuck that guy. He's got coffee.
We've been dealing with this for a year and a half now. If we're not used to it by now.
Yeah. And Coach, by the way, I really like when you talk about X-Wing from an owner's perspective. Really different, and it's really fun to hear because we don't really hear that side of the story. It's great. You should do more of that.
Well, I try.
From my point of view, right? I really like it when you do that.
Yeah.
Maybe your audience is not ready for that, or they don't care about it.
Oh no, they do.
So, yeah.
Well, I don't care what the audience thinks. No, it's just been this 2.0 thing is, and unless you're a big store owner, you don't really care. But for us, young, starting small 2.0, 2.0 was big. 2.0 was big. You either ordered what you could and missed out on the promos, or you went and got a fucking loan, or you added the credit card to the freaking thing to get the promos, which X-Wing is we're the biggest X-Wing guys in Northwest in basically the half of Iowa. Okay. And so they expect us to have that. Yes. And it's worked out okay. People have recognized that they come for the tournaments. We charge money for our tournaments, but not a lot, and this and that. But no, our customer base is pretty good. It's just I can imagine other stores seriously like not doing it. Like they just I can't do it. I can't order 8 slave ones.
No. I get it.
Because I have no scum players. Well, you have to order 8 slave ones in order to get your promo cards. Like, why? Yes. Why can't I just order the promo cards separate? Why is that not a thing?
Yeah. You know what? The store owner where we are based, or Millenium Condor Baladodiffusion, said that if it wasn't for us, our community being there, for me driving the community, he wouldn't sell any X-Wing because it's so much of an asshole. Not asshole, but it's an asshole.
Yeah, there you go. Hassle. Yeah.
That it wouldn't sell any X-Wing because it's too complicated.
Both words work.
Yes. So it's really complicated for him to get the stuff, and it's expensive, and he get his order wrong every time and stuff like that. So
yeah. No, it's a live or die. It's a live or die. A retail anything is a shit business to be into. But
yeah. But do you live the same thing when you sell your BattleTech stuff? In any other games?
No, none of my other games require me to buy so much in order to get the promo stuff. None of my other games do. Which is, I don't know. It's the way they're gonna go. I hope it's not permanent. I know this was a launch thing, but seriously, if you're gonna give me a launch party kit, don't just give me all dark cards. Give me something else to give out. Give me some good stuff where I can charge like $10, $15 for a tournament. Give me some acrylic or something. Make my money back, right?
Yes.
But they didn't, and I was I feel like that was a lost opportunity, and I have to deal with it, and I am. So, oh well.
Hey, I got to jump in here quick because I got to go to bed. So, you guys have a good night.
Yeah.
Good talking.
Thank you, Chico.
Bye. We're
Bye, everybody.
sending everyone home and good bed because I got to go to the bathroom and I got to go.
And you know,
no, you guys got to go for another hour because I enjoy watching the shit show in the morning.
We're not going for another hour.
And go.
All right. So next time, Aaron, because I have a lot of questions for you about that, you know, the managing of a store and stuff like that.
Sure.
It's really interesting to see the other side of the wall because as a player, we go to the store, we play, we buy $20 thing, and then we go home, right? But the owner is there, he's struggling and saying, fuck, I'm stuck with that and that and that. Nobody's buying that. What do I do? I know that my store owner relies on me, you know, to organize tournaments and bring people in because I'm the motivated guy there, right? If I wasn't there, there would be no X-Wing in that store. So it's really interesting to me. So and someday I wish I could own a store one day, right? So no,
don't ever do that.
Okay.
I will say, unless you're gonna make it your full-time job, and don't do that because you won't make any money. Like I have a nice thing going where I have 3 partners involved and we all put our money together. So we're all kind of sharing the responsibility. One guy works the whole thing and that's his wage. That's his incorporation into the deal. But owning a game store is tough. Like I could not imagine doing it on my own.
Okay.
The hours are shit.
Do you have a day job or this is your main thing?
Well, no, this is like a side thing that I have. I just put some money in, and I actually do all the ordering. I do all the scheduling. I do all of this. I do more than I should, but no, I'm a general contractor, so I go to work at 6:30 a.m. and I don't get home till 5:30 p.m.
Okay.
And then I deal with a wife, 2 kids, and then
you deal with a store.
I deal with the podcast, and then
okay. So you don't do a podcast about BattleTech and the other games in your store?
Well, I do. I got roped into a BattleTech podcast too. So, but no, my life is it's way too much. But the store it takes quite a bit of time, and it's a lot of stress. You're basically living order by order is basically what it is. If you're a big store and you're ordering tens of thousands of dollars worth of stuff, you got a little leeway room because you're making $5,000 a day. Well, you're a small store and you're catering to a small community, and you're like, I maybe order $2,000 or $3,000 a month. And I'm hoping to make $1,500 a week, $5,000 a month, hopefully. Well, when all of a sudden X-Wing 2.0 comes around and requires you to put down $2,500 in order to get the promos that you need, you got to sit there and you go, okay, I have like my X-Wing is probably 40% of my profit margin. Okay, I got a lot of X-Wing players, a lot of them, and they're gonna want their promo stuff. When they come to my store, and I prided my store on this, you get the latest prizes, you get the best prizes, you get everything. That's why I draw from a lot of different communities that also have stores, but they don't do what I do. That's where I run into the problem. Like, wow, you're requiring me to buy all of this stuff that I'm probably never going to sell, just to get a pack of cards that I want to give to my customers to get to. This is their launch party. This is their 2.0 launch party. You can't ask that of small stores. You got to make that a separate item and say, Here's $50. Buy these cards.
Yes.
That, no problem. No problem for me. Because that's what they do with everything else. You want a wave kit? You buy the wave kit. You don't have to buy $1,000 worth of wave 1 shit in order to get your deluxe wave. I don't know why they did this. This was a very bad marketing decision on their part.
Yeah.
If you
So you're stuck with dials and stuff like
I had
that.
to buy 12 dial packs of each faction. I had to buy 12 dice packs. I had to buy 8 of every ship, single expansion ship.
8.
So 8.
8.
8 Y-Wings, 8 Bang Fighters, 8 X-Wings, 8 TIE Advanced, 8 TIE Fighters.
Okay.
8 Slave 1s.
Wow.
I had to buy all of that in order to get these cards.
Which are okay. Nothing more.
Which are generic fucking alt-art cards.
Yes.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a real kick. There's a real kick in the ass. I could have taken $1,000 off my order. Easy. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, and I have to kowtow the way they do it. So I've made my opinion known in multiple channels. And I hope they don't do this ever again. So
you must not be the only one complaining about it, right?
I hope I'm not. If I'm the only store complaining about it, it means there's not a lot of small stores out there.
Okay. Yeah.
They just said, fuck it, we're done. We're not selling X-Wing anymore.
Exactly. Yes.
That's sad. So, whatever.
Yeah. You know what? We need to go, but one of my projects for next year is to go to your store at some point.
Oh,
I don't know how, but I managed to go to your store.
You don't need to buy a hotel. You can stay at my house. My wife will cook you up a wonderful dinner.
Nice.
Come during the summer. We got a full pool to chill out afterwards.
All right.
We have one of the greatest X-Wing communities here. We are all fun, man.
All right.
So
I'll do that, and then you come in Montreal, and I'll have you in my home.
Try to make it to Montreal.
Nice. Good.
That would be fun.
Yes, it would.
That would be a good time.
Okay.
All right.
So thank you, because I'm dragging this along because I don't want to quit.
You are. I'm gonna get prostate cancer because I gotta pee again. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Aaron. That was really nice. And
dude, this was a great show. I loved it. I thought we talked about a lot of good stuff. It was fantastic having you on. Finally, we got you on. It was good. Don't get used to being a first timer because we're gonna definitely have you on again. So
all right, great. I hope so.
We're working our schedule. We got to get the girls on here pretty soon. We're trying to schedule the ladies' night again. And
okay, hey, I could be on your B staff.
Oh, the OCX 2.0. I don't know if they'll take you. They're pretty cutthroat group.
Yeah, I know they're picky.
They take their shit real seriously. They prepare for like the podcast they do for like a week and a half ahead of time. It's crazy.
Nice.
But dude, Bruno, thank you so much for being on.
All right, my pleasure, man.
You have a good night's sleep, and we will talk to you later. I'm sending you the next set of stuff, and your set's in there. So
great.
I got it marked off.
I got marks in there also. When I'll get
marks. Okay.
But I'll send it to you. Is that okay?
Yeah, just send it to me. I'll send it back out to Mark. So
perfect. Great.
All right, bud. You have a good night.
Cheers, man. Bye.
You too. Bye. Good night, everyone out there in YouTube land. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you next week.